people to be detained. Do we have any idea where they will be held or what the next process is? Because, I mean, that's west of Savannah. It's not like this happened in a big city like Atlanta.
Right. There's multiple places they can go to. And, I'm not a lawyer, so I want to state that.
Yes.
Let me state that for the record. I am not an attorney, so I'm commenting based on what I know. Stewart is a detention center, down in the middle and south of the state, and there's others. Or they could send them out of state. It just really depends. We've seen cases where they have sent people out of the state. And so that's also hard to track, by the way. I know that when Jimena, up in Dalton got arrested and we were trying to locate her, it took us all day to figure out where she was. So they'll take them to a processing center, sometimes here in Atlanta, and then from there they could go to various detention centers. That's been my experience this year.
Interesting. Relatedly, how's it been ground level here in Metro Atlanta when it comes to ICE raids and deportations?
Yeah, I mean, we know that the number of deportations are high. I haven't personally seen, and we haven't heard, at least where, kind of the areas that we operate. So we have facilities in Brookhaven, Norcross, and in Dalton. We just haven't heard about like a lot of ICE raids, but there have been a lot of arrests and detentions, right? And so we are hearing that activity is probably going to pick up. We know that there's a lot of money that's been awarded for ICE. And so we're thinking that activity is going to pick up starting in the fall, in October, once that money is made available.
Speaking of the Metro Atlanta area, have you seen, I've heard anecdotally, decline in enrollments in schools that are very diverse areas, right? And maybe that there's a fear of families who are here illegally or parents that are here illegally, even if their child was born in the U.S., that they're hesitant to send their kids back to school, which is why we're seeing a declining enrollment in schools in some of these jurisdictions.
Yes, and we actually have a youth services department. We start working in the schools next week, and so I've instructed our youth services to, keep me posted on what they're seeing. But yes, we've already heard there's less enrollment. Some of the schools are concerned. So it'll be interesting to see as we start working, we go back into the schools and working with the families. We've seen decreases in certain services also, right? Like, there's services we offer at our building, like English as a second language, and we've seen decreases in people coming for that. So definitely I think people are being much more careful and being much more selective as to where they go, especially if they're undocumented and don't have a driver's license.
Santiago Marquez, CEO of the Latin American Association. Mr. Marquez, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
It's an honor. Thank you for having me.
There you go. So a massive raid at the mega plant in Bryan County, Georgia. This is, I said mega plant, Deborah. It's a 3,000-acre campus out there.
I've driven past it before.
Yeah, it's crazy. $7.6 billion project. So 450 people detained, some of them from South Korea, which I guess kind of makes sense at a Korea. But you'd think if you're bringing people over from Korea to work at the plant, you'd have the proper paperwork. But at least 30 of them were detained. At its max capacity, which it's not yet there will be 8,500 workers at that mega plant. So 450, big number, but a small percentage of the 8,500 there. Crazy, crazy story. Any developments on that, we'll bring them to you here on WSB. Been a rough morning on 285, I-20. Where are the current hotspots now, Mike Shields?
Yeah, right now in northwest Atlanta, Mark, on I-20 eastbound, right at MLK Jr. Drive, exit 53. Not only do you have a crash blocking the 3 right lanes, so only the left lane open, but the sun right in your eyes, so gridlock back before I-285. If this is your commute outside the perimeter, inside the perimeter, take Hollowell Parkway, Highway 78. That will save you time. You can also take Joseph E. Boone Boulevard as a way around it as well, and MLK Jr. Drive, but a crash leaves only the left lane open 20 east at MLK Jr. Drive. And better news on the east side perimeter, a long-standing red alert now on the right shoulder, 285 southbound the inner loop at Lawrenceville Highway. The support is brought to you by Staples. Have you heard the Staples Easy button is back with even more easy? Press it for custom prints, shipping services, and even passport photos. Staples. That was easy. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
All right, thank you.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
Oh my word!
Just enter the word at WSBRadio.com or on the WSB Radio app. The WSB 5K Day Bonus Blitz.
Your next chance to win is at 10 a.m.
It's the Love Your Home Minute from TE Certified. Hey, it's Chris Chandler with Josh, the local owner of TE Certified Electrical, Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. And you know him. That's him you see jumping out of the back of their trucks. Josh, something you've done recently to help you love your home.
We recently had the TE HVAC team replace our basement HVAC system with the Daikin Fit. We install a lot of HVAC brands, but the Daikin Fit is my absolute favorite. The system's about half the size of the old one, but it's 40% more efficient, and it's absolutely silent, which is super nice because this one was actually installed outside of our bedroom. It's true variable speed, which means it removes humidity, so as it runs, it actually takes humidity out of the house, and it costs us less money to operate. We install hundreds of systems in Atlanta, and this has been one of our customers' favorite. And so I had to get one in my home, and I absolutely love it.
All right, Josh, that's great. Thank you. I believe a Daikin Fit system from TE will help a lot of our listeners love their home more.
TE certified, we love your home.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell.
And I'm Monica Pearson. Dale and I have worked together for years, first at WSB, and today helping you find Georgia's best companies and sharing why they're the best.
Monica, one of the first companies I researched and recommended is AMCO Transmissions and Total Car Care. For more than a dozen years, they've consistently met my 7-point standard and honored my Make It Right guarantee. And I know you believe in AMCO just as much as I do.
Dale, over the years, we've both reported about people getting taken advantage of. So I'm keenly aware what it takes to deliver not just great performance, but great customer service. People who follow my advice literally stop me on the street and thank me for referring them to AMCO.
We all need mechanics we can trust for correct diagnosis, efficient repair, and fair price. Not just for transmission repair, but engines, brakes, check engine lights, and so much more. Call the locally owned AMCO near you.
And I know their nationwide warranty protects you everywhere.
That's AA.
MCO.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Can you remember the last time you turned on the shower and all you got was cold water? Hopefully you don't have a fresh memory of that. Hey, it's Mark Aram. I want you to check out my friends at Reliable Heating and Air. Great new deal on a new water heater. Check it out, guys. Only $29.99 a month and no payments for 3 whole months. No credit check and an unbeatable lifetime warranty. Or you want to go tankless? It's only $59.99 a month and you can enjoy endless hot water. Think about those long, hot showers in the cold, cold winter. Their new water heater installations come with their 100% satisfaction guarantee, same-day water heater installation guaranteed, or they pay you $300. And with their Comfort as a Service program, you get lifetime repair and maintenance, no additional charges ever, no money down, and just easy monthly payments. So new water heater, $29.99 a month, or tankless, $59.99 a month. Amazing deal. Amazing hot water, amazing service. Go online to reliableair.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877 Cars for Kids.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Oh, I criticized her.
Did you criticize
Not
her?
for that.
Did you criticize her?
I don't even.
Did you criticize her for her statements?
Oh, no love lost there. Georgia Senator Raphael Warnock and RFK Jr. Still to come. We're going to go to D.C., get reaction to the Tense hearing yesterday in front of the Senate Finance Committee. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. Reminder, it's Friday and a chance to win $1,000 coming up next hour. Around 10:12, I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K a day bonus blitz. Chance for you to win $1,000 just for listening to the nifty 750, if you will. Dairy Queen, I mentioned yesterday or 2 days ago, I ordered a Blizzard delivered to my house because that's just how I roll. I was not scammed at the Dairy Queen, but apparently there's a Dairy Queen scam that we have to report on, Deborah.
Yeah, 2 former managers at a Dairy Queen in Ackworth were accused of stealing tens of thousands of dollars. They got away with about 40 grand. So what would happen is customers would come through and they would pay with a credit card, but rather than like run it through the company system, they would scan their own system, so the money would go to a completely different account.
No
Because people
way.
can have like little squares on their phone, right? And another thing they did at these same stores is when employees got fired, they would keep them on the payroll, and then they would take those checks forged to signatures and cash them. So overall, it doesn't say how long it went on, but they were able to get away with about $40,000.
Wow. No, that's a smart criminal. Not the employee scam. That's like a federal thing, but having like a little square credit card reader. If you do it, just do 3 blizzards a day, and no one's gonna catch on.
3 blizzards a day,
right? Like, what is that? $15 a day? Well, I mean, but it's like Superman or Superman 2 or 3 with Richard Pryor. He just took the pennies, the percentage of a pennies. That's actually a brilliant thing. Because the owner of the Dairy Queen's not going to miss 3 blizzards a day. And unless the credit card user goes, what is this charge? If it doesn't, but,
they're not doing it. They'll probably just see, $4. Oh, that must have been the blizzard.
Yeah. Oh, that's genius. Oh, they just got greedy. Much a tip of the hat. The execution was horrible, but what a brilliant idea. Again, crime's bad. Don't do it, kids. But, wow. That's next level criminality right there. Hat tip on the idea. Execution was bad. Judd's got your news, weather, and traffic in 2. When we come back, we're going to go live to Florida. The end of the vaccine mandate in the Sunshine State. Should we be worried here in the Peach State? We're going to talk to Greg Rhodes from WDBO in Orlando next on the Mark Arum Show.
Worried about market losses? If headlines are keeping you up at night, it's time to take control. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I know you've worked hard to save. But in times like these, what if can turn into what now? If you're planning to retire or are in retirement, you need a strategy that helps protect your future. At Trajan Wealth, you can capture market gains, protect your account from losses, and guarantee income for life. Right now, you could receive a bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. You heard me right. An upfront bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10%, all guaranteed to boost your lifetime income in retirement. Don't leave your future to chance. Plan with confidence. Call 404-390-4000. That's 404-390-4000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company, DBA, in most states, as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
Are you tired of painting your home every 3 to 5 years? Get peace of mind for 25 years with Rhino Shield.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Get a free estimate at rhinoshieldga.com.
Hi, this is Blake Cooper with Cooper Piano, and you know who we are. The building is sold and we're closing. This is the biggest piano sale in our history, and everything must go. If you've ever thought about buying a piano, now is the time. Cooper Piano off the I-85 Access Road South. Details online at cooperpiano.com.
Did you know that 30% of all heart attacks, the very first symptom is sudden death? Virtual Imaging is offering a $49 heart scan. Take advantage of this offer now by visiting virtualimagingatl.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 9:30. I'm Judd Hickenbotham. News this half hour brought to you by Dr. Roof. Our top story, we are going over the numbers from this morning's August jobs report, which could be good for those of us waiting for interest rates to actually move. While financial analysts predicted the U.S. added about 75,000 jobs last month, and only saw 22,000, while the jobless rate rose to 4.3%.
This is a report that is consistent with a labor market that is weakening, and that likely means that the Federal Reserve is probably going to cut interest rates at its next meeting in about 10 days. We're expecting a quarter-point rate cut.
Business analyst Jill Schlesinger says, though, Fed Chair Jerome Powell will likely admit they will continue to watch some other factors before making a final decision there. Now, this morning's report had sent stock futures shooting much higher, and taking a look at the numbers as the bell rings this morning on Wall Street, they are much higher. The Dow is up almost 100 points as the bell rings here on your Friday. S&P up about 25 points, and NASDAQ is up more than a half percentage point, up about 150 points. It is 76 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. Channel 2 Action News meteorologist Brad Nitt says the heat is on today. High over 90 degrees. We'll see plenty of sunshine today. Rain chance goes up as we head through the weekend. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. It's being called the largest immigration raid in Georgia history. A joint operation involving Homeland Security and several other state and federal agencies unfolds near the coast.
It came at the massive construction site for a new Hyundai plant outside Savannah in Bryan County.
We are actively conducting an investigation into unlawful employment practices going on at this massive multi-hundred-acre construction site.
Homeland Security spokesman Stephen Shrink called it a judicially authorized enforcement operation. The ATF posted on social media that the raid resulted in the detention of approximately 450 people. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
From one car maker to another, while it gears up to open an East Coast headquarters in Atlanta, Rivian announces a cut in its workforce before its launch of its more affordable R2 midsize SUV.
The layoffs account for less than 1.5% of its workforce. Impacted employees are eligible for rehire. The automaker faces increased costs and lower revenue as it navigates trade and EV policy changes under President Trump.
Bloomberg's Denise Pellegrini says Rivian's new headquarters later this year in Atlanta's Krog District building could create hundreds of new jobs. Meanwhile, and just a day after several events to mark the one-year anniversary of the Appalachia High School shooting, the city of Winder holds a resource fair this evening to help the community heal. The city's Sarah Freeland says it's part of a pep rally event at Jug Tavern Park where families can celebrate school spirit.
We wanted it to be a little bit of a fun event. I mean, we remember, but it's going to bring the community together in a fun but thoughtful way.
And the resource fair includes mental health resources and help from local churches there. It runs from 6 to 9 tonight. It's 9:33. Time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. We go to the WSB 24-hour traffic center and Mike Shields.
And Joe, watching a travel advisory, Northwest Atlanta crash still leaves only the left lane open right now. Trying to clear this to the right shoulder, but damage done. 20 eastbound MLK Jr. Drive, exit 53, bumper to bumper all the way back to Six Flags over Georgia and Riverside Parkway, exit 46. Avoid that. Use Highway 78 Hollow Parkway as an alternate from outside to inside the perimeter. Also looking for new trouble now on the southeast leg of the perimeter, 285 southbound, the interloop right at I-20 in DeKalb County. Brake lights begin back at Covington Highway. I'm Mike Schultz, 95.5 WSB.
I'm Channel 2 Action News Chief Meteorologist Brad Nitt. Mostly sunny, 92 today. Tomorrow, hot again, low 72, high up to 90 with a partly cloudy sky. We'll have some scattered showers and storms in the afternoon. The mostly sunny, breezy, and cooler on Sunday, low 67, high 84.
It is 75 degrees right now in Lilburn, 75 in Emerson, 76 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:34. More news at 10, breaking news when it happens. I'm Jed Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
When traffic hits.
I-75 completely shut down north and south between McDonough and Locust Grove.
The Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
Brake lights fill in on 316 westbound at Sugarloaf Parkway.
Your source for Atlanta's traffic.
Heavy police fire department activity.
Brought to you by the Cool Ray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
If you look at what's going on in the world with health, and look at this country also with regard to health, I like the fact that he's different.
President Trump commenting on RFK Jr. Still to come, we'll go to D.C., get the latest on his Senate appearance yesterday. But next, push to end vaccine mandates in Florida. We'll go live to Orlando in 2 minutes on the Mark Arum Show.
I've found your next go-to service team for Porsche, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Audi. It's Wolf Pen European Auto Repair in Roswell. Honest pricing with certified factory techs who won't run up the tab with repairs you don't need. See the difference when you search Wolf Pen Auto Repair.
Hi, I'm Lacey, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. And yes, I'm actually a jeweler. I bring dream engagement rings to life every day in our jeweler's workshop. When I hand set your diamond into your ring, I think about creating a piece you'll wear for a lifetime. I pay attention to the smallest details and treat every ring with the same care and craftsmanship, no matter the size or price. Come check us out at your nearby store. Our engagement rings are made with love from our hands to yours, because a friend knows your love deserves the highest quality. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Overhead Door Company of Atlanta is hiring residential garage door technicians and installers. You can earn a hiring bonus up to $2,500. Apply today at overheaddooratlanta.com. Overheaddooratlanta.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-575-2798.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-2798. That's 800-575-2798.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
I've made the decision to extend the encampment as we continue to work to ensure that everyone that walks through these city streets
That's Brigadier General Leland Blanchard, commander of the D.C. National Guard. There will be an extension of the National Guard. Will it expand to possibly Atlanta, Georgia? We'll update that story in just a little bit. But joining us live from our sister station in Orlando, Florida, WDBO reporter Greg Rhodes. Greg, good morning. Thanks for your time.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me.
Mentioned this story when it popped up maybe yesterday, the day before. The headline is Florida plans to end vaccine mandates. Not officially an end yet because there's probably going to be some legislative challenges. But what can you tell us about the story in general?
No, that's right. So down in Tampa at a news conference on Wednesday, Governor DeSantis and State Surgeon General Joseph Ladapo, they said that they plan to make Florida the first state to eliminate all vaccine mandates. Things for diseases like measles, polio, whooping cough, all for school-aged children. Now, the Surgeon General saying that that should be a parent's decision, not necessarily the government's, about what goes into their children's bodies for those.
And I mentioned there might be a legislative fight right now. What has to happen to make this actually come to fruition?
That's right. So it's twofold right now. So there are some rules that the Surgeon General can actually change on his side when it comes to the Florida Department of Health. But there are some legislative challenges. Governor DeSantis saying that the new Make America Healthy Again commission that will be led by his wife, First Lady Casey DeSantis, they'll create a medical freedom package that they'll be sending to the state legislature for that next session coming up. Lawmakers, though, are pretty hesitant in that plan, including Republican leaders in the state House and Senate. The Senate President, Ben Albritton, and House Speaker Daniel Perez both not being very vocal about if they'd approve such a bill right now.
Interesting. Greg, is this maybe a test of Governor DeSantis' strength when it comes to pushing across his agenda in the Sunshine State?
I think there's a portion of that. You've seen a lot of kind of similar moves across the current administration. You've seen a lot of work out of the state attorney general's office, James Uthmeyer, a lot of work in the immigration programs that we've had going on, but also from the Surgeon General's office as well. This isn't the first kind of controversial decision that they've kind of pushed. Back in November, he made the recommendation for Florida to remove fluoride from all of its drinking water. That became law back in July, making Florida the second to do that.
Have you noticed a difference in the taste of the water in Orlando, sans fluoride?
I grew up on well water, so it's a very big difference.
Same, absolutely.
So I didn't notice too much of a difference personally, but that's because I just think it's bad either way.
Greg Rhodes from WDBO joining us live in Florida here on the Mark Arum Show. What are the critics saying about this possible end of the vaccine mandates? What's their biggest concern?
So Congressman Maxwell Frost out of Orlando releasing a statement just after that press conference saying, quote, "This will not only jeopardize individuals, but it will endanger entire communities. Florida will become a hotbed for diseases that vaccines have proven to prevent." Now, the CDC is making a recommendation. They've said this in the past, that they expect about a 95% threshold for herd immunity. Dr. Ladapo saying that he disagrees with those, calling those an unethical work to have a herd immunity, even likening it to slavery at one point. The latest data from CDC back in 2024 only about 89% of Florida kindergartners were fully immunized. So we'll see this back and forth, I think, for a little while still.
Obviously, when it comes to kids especially, I think that's the focal point of people's concern here when you're ending the vaccine mandates for kids. We saw a measles outbreak in Texas that was pretty severe. A couple of children die. Is that the main concern for Floridians right now, is that the safety of their kids? If a growing number of children and students go to school unvaccinated, that could be an issue.
I think that's a major concern for it, but I think the other side of it is also Florida has one of the oldest populations in the country. So you also have, as those vaccinations become less effective as you age, and also some of our teachers here in the state of Florida, that's also a major concern.
This might be a little early, Greg, since this story just popped on Wednesday, but what do you get the general sense if Floridians were polled on this? Do you think that Governor DeSantis would have a majority on his side, or you think there's too much faith in the old school vaccines? We're not talking about the COVID vaccine, but the old measles, mumps, all of those. What do you think the public polling would show?
Our very unscientific poll here in Orlando, we utilized our open mic feature the other morning for this, and it was about a 60-40 split from our open micers that called in about this, and 60% siding against DeSantis in this decision. A lot of those callers saying that they normally do decide with DeSantis on these kinds of decisions for his administration, but on this one, they just don't seem to be getting behind him.
Well, if this does pass the legislature, I think we're going to build a wall south of Valdosta, and we're going to check vaccine cards for our neighbors to the south heading into Georgia.
Don't deny me the access to those beautiful mountains you guys have up that way. So.
Will do. Well, Greg Rhodes, WDBO. Greg, thanks for jumping on, man. Have a fantastic weekend.
Absolutely, anytime.
There you go. All right, so it's not a fait accompli. This still has to pass. I don't know. This is. I'll ask. Remind me to ask Eric Erickson about this on Monday, Deborah. How much political oomph and power does Ron DeSantis have in Florida? Because I don't know. I think even folks that are skeptical about the COVID vaccine.
Right.
I think overall, though, like measles vaccine is still, it's been proven effective.
You had that older generation remember polio.
Yeah.
He talked about an older generation. They actually remember people with polio and having to get that vaccine when it came out.
Yeah. So put that in the notes if you don't mind.
Okay.
Write that down, Shani B. To see because I want to, that's a big political hill to climb, I think. Vaccine skepticism was on full display yesterday with RFK Jr. taking bipartisan heated questions from senators both left and right. Later, right after the news at 10, we're going to go to D.C., get the latest on that reaction from what went down in front of the Senate Finance Committee yesterday. Right now, though, I played the audio from the Brigadier General of the National Guard in the District of Columbia, covering the National Guard story. Joining us is national correspondent Rory O'Neill. Rory, good morning, my friend. The Guard expected to maintain a presence extended in the district for a couple of months, and maybe it will be expanded, and we could see National Guard troops in other big cities around the U.S. What can you tell us?
Well, we did hear that the D.C. Guard, the local guard, they had their mission extended, I think, through the end of November. Those other Guards members who are coming from places like Mississippi and South Carolina, they are already there on orders, I think, through the end of December. So those are already in place and likely to stay there, but the official extension for D.C. Guard happened yesterday. But what's next is really the big question, especially with this legal ruling that found that President Trump broke the law when he deployed National Guard troops to try to knock down those riots in Los Angeles a few months ago, and whether or not the president can take this action again. Chicago is bracing for it. There's a military base just north of the city that apparently is going to be used as a staging location that would include National Guard and a large contingent of ICE officers, Immigration and Customs Enforcement. That's a big part of this.
So the court ruled against President Trump's action in Los Angeles with National Guard troops, but I would imagine the importation of additional ICE officers might still be within his purview.
Exactly. But, look, those are major operations. When they want to do these at this large scale, what we're seeing is, you need to bring the officers in. Obviously, those officers themselves need support, food, lodging, whatever it may be. And then as they arrest people, they have to have some place to bring them for processing to prepare to deport them. So it's a big logistical challenge to do this at scale. That's what we think they've been ramping up in the Chicago area and actually could deploy as early as tomorrow.
Correspondent Rory O'Neill joining us on the Mark Arum Show. So Chicago has been in the crosshairs of the Trump administration for additional law enforcement support. I heard briefly mentioned possibly New Orleans. Are there any other big cities that are on possibly a list that President Trump might send federal troops to?
Well, I'd say, New Orleans, Chicago. I think we've heard Boston's name, and Baltimore, another one. Typically, areas that have Democratic leadership is what we've seen is the trend. In the case of Louisiana and New Orleans, it's interesting. A Republican governor, Democratic mayor. The mayor was asked about this and was very neutral, like, oh, we always work well with our federal partners, whatever that means. Whereas the governor was saying, bring in the troops. I'll take them from Shreveport to New Orleans. We welcome them in. But the president of the New Orleans City Council's very against this, saying it's just a carnival or a circus. That's going to have some political fallout there, too.
Yeah, it looks like the ease of this will be helped if it's a state with a Republican governor, because the governor can request the National Guard troops. But Boston, that's the first time I've heard Boston mentioned as a possibility.
Yeah, Boston, I think that's more rhetorical than it is actual, as they just look at big cities and try to find typically Democratic ones and pick those cities to I don't want to say threaten, but I guess it is threaten to use to deploy the Guard forces there. Again, whether or not it's with or without the governor's approval is a big factor in it.
Indeed. All right, interesting stuff. A story we're going to follow very closely here in Metro Atlanta. Rory, have a great weekend, my friend.
Thanks, Mark.
9:47 on the Mark Arum Show. Reminder at 10:12-ish, I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K day bonus blitz. Another chance for you to win $1,000. Deborah's got tickets at 11:37 to give away to see the hilarious Jim Gaffigan, who's going to be performing for my anniversary. He's coming in to perform just for my wedding anniversary, September 12th at Atlanta Symphony Hall. All right, let's check the ride around town. It is usually lighter than normal on Fridays. What the heck is going on, Mike Shields?
Yeah, something in the water today, Mark. Unfortunately, long-standing crash leaves only the left lane open. I-20 eastbound MLK Junior Drive, exit 53, bumper to bumper all the way back to Six Flags over Georgia Riverside Parkway, exit 46. Continue to take Highway 78 as an alternate. Crash at least in one left lane, maybe multiple left lanes, I expect. 285 southbound, the inner loop at I-20, exit 46, slow as you leave Highway 78. Also, crash working I-20 westbound past Panola Road, causing delays all the way back into Stonecrest and Lithonia. Covington Highway is going to be a way to avoid those brake lights. This support is brought to you by the Georgia Lottery. Hey, Georgia, remember you can play Georgia Lottery games from almost anywhere on any device. Go to GALottery.com and click on DigiGames. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
Eric Erickson.
I try even when I don't agree.
The opinions expressed are his.
To at least exercise some basic empathy.
And that's what makes you listen.
Coming in like a wrecking ball, taking it all out. It's fantastic.
Eric Erickson.
Today, starting at noon.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Yeah, about 12, 13 years ago, I remember sitting in the house watching TV when I noticed that one of the walls looked different. It was a darker shade than the rest of the walls. Upon further investigation, it was soft and wet to the touch. Not having any plumbing in that area, there's only one real explanation. My roof was leaking.
Dave Baker for Finley Roofing, the roof guys.
So I needed a new roof. Like any major repair for my house, I checked out a bunch of companies. Only one company passed all my criteria, though, Finley Roofing. The roof guys. Finley Roofing was the perfect match when it came to getting a new roof. Turned out they really are the extra effort experts. They treated my home like it was their own, tearing off the old shingles, installing new ones. They were neat and cleaned everything up, and I didn't pay anything until the job was complete. Right now, Finley is offering upfront pricing, 0% financing, and a free roof analysis. When it comes to roofing issues, think of Finley first. See them on the web at finleyroofing.com.
Attention men, does ED and PE have you down? Well, great news. Choice Men's Health has the latest breakthrough treatments that can get you up and running. Meet the specialist who is dedicated to helping you perform better than ever in the bedroom.
Hi, I'm Dr. Katz, Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Our custom treatment plans have a 98% success rate at improving ED and PE on your very first visit, even if Viagra and Cialis have failed. Regardless of your age and medical history, we are here and dedicated to help you regain your love life.
Don't wait. Call Choice Men's Health now. We are so confident we can help. For a limited time, we're offering to cover your first treatment for free. Call 404-400-1170. Call now to claim your free treatment. 404-400-1170. Results guaranteed on your first visit or it's free. 404-400-1170. Choice Men's Health, the only choice for your health.
EMC Security.
When an alarm goes off at your home, every second counts. With EMC Security's remote video monitoring, once your alarm is triggered, our team can instantly monitor cameras you give us access to, assess the situation, and send appropriate information to first responders. Get real peace of mind whether you're home or away. Get a free quote on video monitoring today at emcsecurity.com.
EMC Security. Smart protection for a safe ride tomorrow.
Do you have mystery stains on your carpet? Call Zerorez Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Right now, clean more, and save up to $30. Mention WSB to secure this deal today. Schedule online at ZerorezAtlanta.com. Zerorez, it's the right way to clean.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're a different kind of wireless company dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Because let's face it, our needs are different. Big wireless unlimited plans are designed for 20-somethings, not us. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on one thing, bringing you affordable, reliable rate plans that suit your needs, not ours. How do we do that? We start by using the same towers as the big guys, the exact same towers. We then create rate plans designed for your usage. The fact is, we can offer you an unlimited plan with the same network quality for less because we understand how you use wireless services. Our plans start at just $20 a month. And forget trying to chat with robots. You'll get 100% US-based award-winning customer service when you need help. Come find out how wireless should be and join the millions who've made the switch.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
As the president was walking across the street here in Sacramento, California, a woman pulled a pistol and attempted assassination, but no shots were fired.
That's CBS News correspondent Phil Jones. 50 years ago today, let's jog the old memory, President Ford escaped uninjured after an attempt on his life. The shooter, Lynette Squeaky Frome, was taken into custody on the spot. 50 years ago today, you heard that here on WSB Radio. Coming up after the news at 10, we're going to go to D.C., get reaction to the tense hearing yesterday in front of the Senate Finance Committee as RFK Jr. was taking some shrapnel from senators both left and right. We'll check in with ABC News in D.C. after the news at 10. A quick update. I know a lot of people don't care about this, but I mentioned the other day, Deborah, when Maya and I were flying back from Connecticut, she turned me on. Maya turned me on. She turns me on, yes, but she turned me on too. Usually when the snack cart comes through, I always get cookies or I get potato chips. It depends if I want sweet or salty. I would never think to get pretzels. I'm just not a pretzel guy. But Maya's like, you got to try these new pretzels. And I finally figured out they're called Fit Joy pretzels, grain-free pretzels, the tangy Dijon mustard version. And again, I'm not a pretzel guy. I don't think I've ever bought pretzels in my life. Like a big soft pretzel in New York with mustard, I'll buy it. But like a bag of pretzels? No. What are you doing? No. But these were so good. I went to Publix yesterday. First off, I went to get a pub sub for lunch. And I was like, you know what? Let me see if they have these pretzels at Publix, where shopping is a pleasure. So I go down, and I don't know if you're familiar, at least in my Publix, the aisle that has the pretzels and chips and crackers is the same aisle as the cookies.
Okay.
So I spent like a good 5 minutes trying to find these Fit Joy tangy Dijon mustard pretzels. Couldn't find them. I don't know. I think you have to order them online. But
I was going to say you can order them.
But so I was like, all right, they don't have the pretzels here. I didn't buy any other pretzels because I'm not a pretzel guy. But I turn around, and then there's the cookie aisle. And they're running a BOGO yesterday, Longo.
Ooh.
BOGO any Keebler cookie.
Oh, yeah.
So I spent more time debating what cookie brand, like what cookie type I should get than I do on normal show prep for the show. If the public security guards were in the back looking at the cameras, they're like, why is that guy spending 45 minutes in the cookie? But it was BOGO, like any Keebler cookie.
All of them.
All of them were
wow.
buy one, get one free. And this was like, a decision. I would take more time whether or not to like, all right, should I keep Maya on a respirator or should I pull like I would have come to that decision quicker than the. So I finally, literally after an extended period of time, I decided on the fudge grams. So I got them buy one get. But that's a tough. Even if you're
Couldn't
going
you
to
mix and match?
Yeah, why don't you get one of one kind and one of another kind?
Is that you're allowed to do that?
Buy one,
Yeah,
get
if it was
one.
any Keebler, yeah.
It doesn't have
That
to be
would
the
have
I would
made-
have done like the fudge stripes.
Yeah, those were BOGO. So anyway, so even if it's not BOGO, next time you're in your local grocery store, imagine that the Keebler cookies were all buy one, get one. And tell me how quickly you'd come to a decision on which one. It took a long. There's a lot of great Keebler cookies, but I went with the fudge gram square things. Maya approved my decision, by the way. When I got home, she's like, all right, yeah, no, that's good. These are delicious. They're tiny. I can do portion control. Anyway, I apologize to the security folks at Publix yesterday going, what the heck is this guy doing? Deborah, did you watch White Lotus this season?
I watched all of them, yeah.
Yeah, all right. So apparently White Lotus, no shock here, picking up its 4th season.
People magazine says it's France. Now, as far as where in France, we may know the possibilities by where the Four Seasons hotel chain has its locations. The company's luxury resorts double as the fictional White Lotus chain.
Our hotel is the best in the world.
One French Four Seasons is on the Riviera, another's in the Alps, with the third in Paris. So far, White Lotus stories have taken place in lush locations, Maui, Sicily, and Thailand. Maybe this time enchanting Paris or dramatic Alps. One thing seems sure.
At the end of the week, you will be an entirely different person.
Michael Toscano, CBS News.
That's like the only real hit that HBO still has for Sunday night television is, yeah, I mean, I watch Gilded Age, but it's not great. And by the way, HBO rebranding again. I'll tell you what you need to know about that coming up in a little bit. But I'm excited. I do like White Lotus. Entertaining show. All right, Sabrina's got your news, weather, and traffic in 2 when we come back. Reaction to the RFK Jr. testimony in front of senators. Social media is active at Mark Airman at WSB Radio. And in 15 minutes, I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K a day bonus blitz. Chance for you to win another $1,000.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
Life is short, and if we spend our time suffering with pain and it takes away our joy, that's not a very good way to live.
He's right. It's hard to be happy when you're in constant pain. QC Kinetics patient Chad admits the chronic pain in his knee really robbed his quality of life.
When I was going to the traditional doctor and getting the pain pills, my smile wasn't as big as it usually is. Going to my high school reunion on crutches, it was awful.
But then Chad visited QC Kinetics. He experienced the real power behind natural regenerative treatments. Using healing properties from his own body, QC Kinetics was able to restore and repair damaged tissue, finally giving Chad lasting relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime.
And I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
Learn how advanced regenerative medicine can help your body heal itself at QC Kinetics. Call now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026. 770-285-8026.
Do you have an unused vehicle sitting in your driveway? Imagine turning it into a new beginning. When you donate your car, truck, or van to Tommy Nobis Center, you're helping people with disabilities get the training and support they need to enter the workforce and build successful careers. Your vehicle donation fuels real change, giving people a chance to achieve independence and purpose. And it's easy. We'll handle everything from pickup to paperwork. Plus, it's tax deductible. Donate today at TommyNobisCenter.org. Make a difference, one vehicle at a time.
The wreck was bad, but dealing with insurance can be even worse. Hey, it's Smilin' Mark McKay for John Foy & Associates, the strong arm. When it comes to traffic accidents, I've seen it all, and nothing surprises me. But when it comes to how insurance companies treat accident victims, I'm shocked. If you've been injured, don't try to take on the insurance companies alone. You need an experienced, winning team. You need the strong arm to fight for you. Pay nothing up front and get your free case evaluation at johnfoy.com.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hi there, good morning. It is 10 o'clock. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by TE Certified Electrical, Plumbing, Heating, and Air. A dismal jobs report has just been released this morning.
CBS News special report. Stocks have opened higher despite a weak jobs report for August. Employers added only 22,000 jobs last month. Far fewer than expected, while the unemployment rate rose to 4.3%. But Wall Street is betting the Fed will respond by cutting interest rates at its meeting later this month. That has the Dow up by 25 points. The Nasdaq and the S&P are trading at record highs. Diane Swank is the chief economist at KPMG.
This is a labor market that is hard for those who have already lost a job to find a job. And people are not moving around a lot. That churn is a healthy churn is not there.
CBS's Kelly O'Grady.
It shows a slowing labor market. We added 22,000 jobs in August. That was versus what we expected to be 80,000. What I want to say is it's 4 months of slowdown. It is not great, but we are not in a recession.
Construction, manufacturing, and the federal government lost jobs. CBS News special report. I'm Michael Wallace.
All right, so your weather for today, according to Channel 2 Action News meteorologist Brad Nitz, mostly sunny and a high of 92 this afternoon. We'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast straight ahead. It's being called the largest immigration enforcement operation in Georgia history. It happened at the massive construction site for a new Hyundai plant outside Savannah.
We are actively conducting an investigation into unlawful employment practices going on at this massive multi-hundred-acre construction site.
Homeland Security spokesman Stephen Schrank calling it a judicially authorized enforcement operation. The ATF posting on social media that the raid resulted in the detention of about 450 people. Georgia Republicans are pushing for Atlanta to be the site of a possible midterm convention next year. The idea of a convention in 2026 has been pushed by President Trump. Georgia GOP Chairman Josh McCoon saying,
So there are a lot of reasons to highlight Georgia and focus on Georgia as we make our pitch for 2026, because we have some critical elections that are happening in Georgia for U.S. Senate, for governor, and so forth.
Now, a spokesperson for the Democratic Party says that they are also considering holding a convention to showcase their candidates up and down the ballot. A day after a series of events marking the anniversary of the Appalachia High School shooting, the city of Winder holding a resource fair to help the community heal. The city's Sarah Friedland says it's part of a pep rally event at Jug Tavern Park where families can celebrate their school spirit.
We wanted it to be also a little bit of a fun event too. I mean, we remember, but it's going to bring the community together in a fun but thoughtful way.
The resource fair includes mental health resources and help available from local churches. The event runs from 6 until 9 tonight. An Atlanta police report indicates that a former heavy metal guitarist, Brent Hines, was at fault in an accident that resulted in his death last month.
The 51-year-old Hines was driving his Harley-Davidson at speeds exceeding 60 miles an hour when his motorcycle collided with a BMW SUV, making a left turn at the intersection of Memorial Drive and Boulevard. Initial reports suggested the woman driving the BMW failed to yield, but the report shows the rate of travel by Hines was the primary factor in the accident. The posted speed limit at the intersection is 35 miles per hour. Hines suffered trauma to his head and torso. He was transported to Grady Hospital where he died from his injuries. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
All right, so let's take a look at the markets right now. The Dow's up 20 at 45,641. NASDAQ also up, and so is the S&P. Time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Andrew Seco in the WSB 24-hour traffic center. Good morning.
Good morning, my friend. We have a busy one in the traffic center this morning. Jam-packed anywhere you're trying to go. It has been a long and eventful morning here in the traffic center. Let's start with our longest standing travel advisory. I-20 eastbound, MLK Junior Drive, exit 53. Only a couple left lanes getting by. Brake lights all the way back towards the theme park. You want to hop on Highway 78 to save you some time in your commute. Travel advisory number 2 on the southeast side of the perimeter. Several left lanes blocked here. 225 south, the inner loop, right at I-20, exit 46. Brake lights all the way back into Tucker. It's a really tough ride here. You want to use the downtown connector or Candler Road, Highway 155 in the area. Got some trouble Stalled big rig 75 northbound on the ramp from 285 east and westbound, seeing those delays spill onto the inner and outer loop. 85 south packing in, leaving Georgia 400, something jamming up before you hit the downtown connector. I-20 westbound really jammed in out of the mall of Stonecrest, something at Panola Road, exit 71, about 30 extra minutes. You want to use Covington Highway to get around that, and their traffic pacing through Stockbridge, 675 south, on and off the brake pedal, leaving Forest Parkway on your way down towards I-75. Andrew Seco, 95.5 WSB.
I'm Channel 2 Action News Chief Meteorologist Brad, and it's mostly sunny today. We'll top out around 92. A stray shower possible this evening. Most of us stay dry. Scattered showers and storms tomorrow afternoon. Rain chance 40%, low 72, high 90. Mostly sunny, breezy, and 84 on Sunday.
76 degrees in Holly Springs and Snellville. Decatur has 77 degrees. We'll have more news at 10:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome back to the show and a good Friday morning to you. Mark Aram here, you there. It's 10:05, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. This is the Mark Aram Show, live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon on 95.5 WSB. Whole family with us today on Friday. Deborah, executive producer of the program. Longoria, the stoic Eskimo on the other side of the takeout window. Vinny, what did you drink today, Vinny? I totally
strawberry banana.
Smoothie. A smoothie. The smoothie prince. I give you another. You're not the smoothie king because you're the smoothie prince. Anyway, coming up in just a couple of minutes, I'm going to give you another keyword in the 5K a day bonus blitz. Another chance for you to win $1,000 here on 95.5 WSB. Political analyst Bill Crane live at 10:35, and then at 11:37, Deborah's got, I believe, Deborah, our final pair of tickets to give away to see Jim Gaffigan. Is that correct?
Yep, final pair because the show is next Friday.
Yes. All right. So much more to come. A lot of information to bring along to you. A couple of big local stories we're following. The massive, this really shook me. Did not see this coming. Huge ICE immigration raid, which we're used to, at the huge Hyundai factory off of I-16, 20 miles west of Savannah. 450 individuals detained there. Crazy story here in Georgia. We're going to monitor throughout the day. Very, very few details right now on where those detainees are being held and what's their future. Apparently, at least 20 South Koreans were detained as well in that mix of 450 alleged illegals working at the Hyundai plant. Really interesting, big story there. Another big story with local impact is what's going on with RFK Jr. Covering the story from ABC News, Stephen Portnoy. Stephen, good morning. Huge national story with major local impact here in Metro Atlanta. Health and Human Services Secretary RFK Jr. grilled yesterday before the Senate Finance Committee. What were your big takeaways from what we heard and saw yesterday on the Senate floor?
Well, look, you had RFK Jr. yesterday defending the decision to fire Susan Menares last week after less than a month on the job, saying that the CDC misled the public through the pandemic. So he said, quote, I need to fire some of those people to make sure this doesn't happen again. He said, we are the sickest country in the world, and that's why we have to fire people at CDC. Susan Menares wrote yesterday in the Wall Street Journal that she was fired after less than 30 days on the job because she refused to pre-approve recommendations for vaccines that are forthcoming later this month at a meeting of the Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices. Kennedy insisted to the panel he did not tell Menares to do that and essentially called Menares a liar a month after saying that she's a brilliant scientist who should lead the agency. Now, you had Democrats, obviously, criticizing Kennedy, but what was surprising was to hear Republican physicians on the committee, Bill Cassidy of Louisiana, John Barrasso of Wyoming, airing their concerns, too, from their constituents and colleagues in medicine. Kennedy had to face the concerns of Cassidy, saying, quote, I would effectively say we're denying people vaccine, a function of new FDA recommendations about who should get it. John Barrasso of Wyoming, I support vaccines. I'm a doctor. Vaccines work. So going forward, as the administration eventually names a nominee to replace Menares as CDC director, that'll be the subject of debate in the Senate, and it'll be a whole new opportunity for some of these Republican skeptics to air their concerns.
I understand, Stephen, RFK Jr. being critical of what happened during the pandemic, perhaps from the CDC, but Menares was not the head of the CDC during the pandemic. She was just confirmed to head the organization, so I see a disconnect there.
Yeah, you should. I mean, look, the bottom line is it's hard to square. Menares has her story. She's sticking to it. In fact, her attorneys put out a statement yesterday, once again, calling RFK Jr. a liar. And, ultimately she'll have her say. But RFK Jr. Made it clear yesterday that, he has his side. The president last night was asked whether he still has confidence in RFK Jr. He said he didn't watch the hearing, but heard that RFK Jr. did well. He said that RFK Jr. has different ideas that are perhaps, this is my phrasing, characterization of it, that they're views outside the medical mainstream. But the president said that seems to him a good thing, that sometimes you need different ideas. And ultimately he says that RFK Jr. means well and that he enjoys the support of a number of people close to the president, and that means that he enjoys the support of the president.
You mentioned Senator Cassidy, a medical doctor. Do you think he and some of the other Republicans that were giving it to RFK Jr. regret their votes in his confirmation? Because it was a tenuous confirmation. It certainly wasn't a layup and a guaranteed one.
Barrasso, who's a member of the Republican leadership in the Senate, was asked by my colleague Jay O'Brien as he tried to enter an elevator whether he still has confidence in RFK Jr., and for a moment he refused to answer and simply said as the doors closed of the elevator, "I have confidence in what the president is doing."
Interesting. All right. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News. Stephen, as always, appreciate your time. Have a great weekend, my friend.
You bet.
It doesn't appear that RFK Jr. losing any confidence from President Trump, although there are rumors circulating around the West Wing that not everyone in the Trump administration is happy with RFK Jr.'s performance yesterday. This is President Trump speaking yesterday. He had a big tech meeting with Zuckerberg and all those people, but asked about the RFK hearing.
He's a very good person. And he means very well, and he's got some little different ideas. I guarantee a lot of the people at this table like RFK Jr., and I do. But he's got a different take, and we want to listen to all of those takes. But I heard he did very well today. But it's not your standard. It's not your standard talk.
Definitely not your standard talk. I had Vinny pull some audio yesterday. Georgia Senator Raphael Warnock going heads up with RFK Jr.
I did say it's the most corrupt agency in HHS, and maybe the government.
So you call the CDC corrupt. Did you say that CDC staff are, quote, horrible people?
Horrible people?
Did you say that they're killing children and they don't care?
No.
Okay, I think that we all have a history of listening to you and these answers, but you're on the record for a number of these statements. Despite your lack of credentials and expertise, clearly you have an agenda. It is a threat to the public health of the American people.
So that was a pretty tense back and forth there between Senator Warnock and RFK Jr. This escalated quickly, though.
It's clear that you are carrying out your extremist beliefs. Which is why you attempted to fire Dr.
We're the sickest people in the world. We're the sickest people on earth.
I'm speaking.
How am I a threat?
Secretary Kennedy, for the first time, we're seeing deaths from children from measles. We haven't seen that in 2 decades. We're seeing that under your watch. You are a hazard to the health of the American people.
Can I respond to that, Senator?
No, I claim back my time.
We need to wrap
You are a hazard to the health of the American people. I think that you ought to resign. And if you don't resign, the President of the United States, who put forward Operation Warp Speed, which worked, should fire you. Thank you so much.
Calls for him to resign or be fired. Spoiler alert, I can't see any circumstance where RFK Jr. resigns or gets fired right now. I think he is the head of the HHS for at least as long as he wants it, or as long as President Trump wants it. All right, enough about that. Let's give away $1,000 right now. Yeah. 5K a day bonus blitz, friends. Your 10 a.m. keyword is rent. R-E-N-T, rent. Like, Stu, your rent's due. Famous line from Coming to America. Rent is the keyword, R-E-N-T. Enter into the WSB Radio app or online at WSBradio.com/cash. You have until 10:30 a.m. to enter the keyword, win $1,000. The keyword is rent, R-E-N-T. Don't forget, if you do a phone call after 10:30 from a number you don't recognize, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Could be us telling you you want $1,000. Your 10 a.m. keyword is rent, R-E-N-T, rent. Good luck, my friends. And good luck if you're looking for a job right now. The Bureau of Labor Statistics out with its latest jobs reports. ABC's Mike Dubusky has what it tells us about the state of the labor market.
22,000 jobs were added to the labor market in August. The latest Bureau of Labor Statistics report marks a slowdown in the pace of hiring, as July's figure for new jobs was close to 80,000. Unemployment ticked up slightly from 4.2 to 4.3%. That's worse than what analysts were expecting, and the highest unemployment rate since 2021. This is the first jobs report since President Trump fired the economist in charge of compiling the data last month. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
Yeah, so if there's any worries that President Trump's new labor statistic person was going to juice the numbers for him, you can dispel that because those were lower than expected numbers. Reaction from the White House now. Elena Treen moments ago outside the White House.
Well, I think it's clear that these are not the numbers that the Trump administration or the president wanted, Pamela. We have not yet heard from the president directly. He often posts about these jobs reports. So keep a close eye on social media. We did hear from Kevin Hassett, though. He did some interviews shortly after the report came out. He's the White House's director of the Economic Council. He essentially said that he's expecting this jobs report to be revised up in the future. We'll see if that actually happens. And I do just want to touch on something Vanessa said, because I do anticipate when we do hear from the president, he'll likely call on Powell once again to lower interest rates. And as Vanessa said, I mean, this could have the unintended effect of giving Trump exactly what he wants and seeing those interest rates ultimately come down. But I do want to get to your point as well about how this is the first report that is out ever since the president had fired the former commissioner of the Bureau of Labor Statistics. I know that the Trump administration, the president, they always look at these numbers very carefully, but they're looking at them even more carefully today and scrutinizing even more so because of that firing. We did hear from the Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick on this morning, actually before the report came out, but he mentioned the firing of Erica McIntyre. I want you to take a listen to what he said.
If the leader is bent against Donald Trump, then they're going to have, such errors, and those things are bent. We've seen that in all sorts of agencies throughout this government. The people, the holdovers from the Biden administration, they're just bent against the president's success. They're rooting against America and against Donald Trump. He can't replace somebody, 2 weeks ago, and you expect fundamental change. But what you will get is an agency that's on side, just trying to do the best and put out the correct numbers.
So, Pamela, a few things there, I think, to unpack. One is that this was before, again, the jobs numbers came out. He was clearly trying to already set the scene for potentially disappointing numbers, but also still blaming the former head of the BLS for potentially these disappointing numbers. We do have to be clear, though, there is no evidence, despite their claims, that there was any manipulation of this data by the commissioner of the Bureau of Labor Statistics. It actually, from experts and other economists, they say she wouldn't have even had an opportunity to go into the data before it was released. So just keep that in mind as we listen to all of this.
Elena Treen moments ago outside the White House. Poorer than expected job numbers, but dagnabbit, they're going to be revised in 2 months. So we don't even know if these are real numbers. But Wall Street not really reacting too badly to the poor jobs report. Dow's down 80 points, but the NASDAQ's up 20. So a mixed bag on Wall Street. You can get extra $1,000 to invest in the markets if you win the 5K day bonus blitz. Again, your 10 a.m. keyword is RENT, R-E-N-T, RENT. Enter RENT into the WSB Radio app or online at WSBradio.com/cash, and you, my friends, could win $1,000. Not many winners on I-20, still sounding a red travel advisory. Straight to the traffic center with the latest, Andrew Seco.
We're about on hour 2 of this one now, Mark. Long-standing crash still in a couple right lanes. I-20 eastbound. This is MLK Junior Drive, exit 53. They're working hard to get this clear to the shoulder, but we are not quite there yet. Brake lights back towards the theme park. You want to use Highway 78 as a fast track. Get you where you're going on time. Looks like we have some better news in the southeast side. Big crash is cleared. All lanes look to be back open. 285 south, the inner loop at I-20, exit 46. We're still tough out of the mall of Stonecrest. Over 30 minutes of brake lights. I-20 westbound at Panola Road, exit 71, and the alternate in Covington Highway also starting to fill in through here, but it looks like we're still slowing and going just a little bit out of Buckhead. 85 south packing in on just south of 400, and you're slowing and going all the way down towards the downtown connector. This report sponsored by Whole Foods Market. Head to your local Whole Foods Market for September stock up. Save on meal solutions for busy schedules, including fresh produce, pantry staples, and household essentials now through September 16th. Andrew Seco, 95.5 WSB.
I'm Chris Chandler. When you join us Monday, starting at 5 for Atlanta's Morning News, we'll help you plan the work week with our exclusive 5-day forecast. Coach Smart dissects the Austin Peay game, and why Clark Howard says now's the time to buy an EV on WSB. Skip the hassles of a traditional home sale and sell your home quickly with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. There are no showings, no open houses, and no stress. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. Selling your home is one of the biggest decisions you'll make, so who you work with matters. My friends at Mark Spain Real Estate are the most experienced real estate team in the U.S., and you can trust them to sell your home fast and for maximum profit. Find out what your guaranteed cash offer would be. There's no obligation. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, with all the things we're reading, seeing, and living through these days, from rate cuts, election season, and now a new administration, now seems like a great time to make sure we have that comprehensive plan in place. You know, the one that covers all our financial bases.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in, we'll work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on portfolio x-ray, or click on full retirement plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell.
And I'm Monica Pearson. Dale and I have worked together for years, first at WSB, and today helping you find Georgia's best companies and sharing why they're the best.
Monica, one of the first companies I researched and recommended is AMCO Transmissions and Total Car Care. For more than a dozen years, they've consistently met my 7-point standard and honored my Make It Right guarantee. And I know you believe in AMCO just as much as I do.
Dale, over the years, we've both reported about people getting taken advantage of. So I'm keenly aware what it takes to deliver not just great performance, but great customer service. People who follow my advice literally stop me on the street and thank me for referring them to AMCO.
We all need mechanics we can trust for correct diagnosis, efficient repair, and fair price. Not just for transmission repair, but engines, brakes, check engine lights, and so much more. Call the locally owned AMCO near you.
And I know their nationwide warranty protects you everywhere.
That's AA
MCO.
Insurance companies often have a basic strategy: delay, deny, defend. Some try to grind you down, but they have another tremendous weapon, a software called Colossus. They know which attorneys are great and which are not so great. They know who is likely to take the last offer and who will take them by their scalp, kicking and screaming to trial. They know that they have to pay some firms early and fairly. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. The insurance companies have done their homework. Before you hire a lawyer for your injury case, do yours. Visit forthepeople.com and see our settlements and verdicts for cases like yours. We became the largest injury firm in the world for a reason. When you hire the wrong firm, you may be beat before you start. All law firms are not the same. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Morgan & Morgan Atlanta, 191 Peachtree Street, Atlanta, Georgia. Dial pound law. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Apologies to Dog Nation. Got to play the Georgia Tech fight song here because we have a Georgia Tech story A huge gift to the technical school down on North Avenue from, I'm assuming this is from an alumnus, Deborah Green?
That's right. So a student, former student, Georgia Tech alumnus John W. Durstein, he has left the university $100 million, which is their biggest donation ever the school has received.
Gosh. Yeah. All right.
Big steps, Chrissy.
That's a lot. 100. Do we know what this gentleman does for a living, or how?
So he has passed away. He's no longer with us. That's why the money has gone to the school. But he obviously he went to school at Tech, and then he went to Harvard to get an MBA. And after that, he worked at Ford for many years. So he studied mechanical engineering, and the money is going to go to the School of Mechanical Engineering at Tech.
He worked at Ford and was able.
He's probably an engineer. He probably designed.
But
cars,
still,
$100
million. That's. The CEO of Ford probably doesn't have a net worth. That's insane. I mean, kudos to him.
Yeah.
Thoughts and prayers to anyone in his family that thought they were getting right. Marist College, which is now Marist University. If you're listening, you're never getting that donation.
$100 million.
Yeah, no. If I had $100 million, I would.
Even if you won the Powerball.
I'd donate 5,000 maybe.
I thought you were going to say 5 million.
No.
I donate 5,000.
Listen, by the way.
We paid our dues in college.
Wow.
The only people that are more persistent than political texts and stuff like that is the Marist College Alumni Association. Every time the phone rings and I look at my phone and it says Poughkeepsie, New York, it's some freaking sophomore working the phone bank trying to get more money out of me because I donated $500 to the school like 12 years ago. And and they're like, oh, we got to, pump the well. Let's get air. No. Marist University, I love you. I had a great 5 years there when it was Marist College, Mattress College, Harvard on the Hudson. But if I win Powerball, I'll donate 5,000.
Give them my retirement fund at least.
200, no, 100,000. No. If I'm Elon Musk rich, Marist is getting 5K. I mean, I'll do a 5K a year, but that's it. So kudos to that hell of an engineer donating $100 million. All right, you can win $1,000 if you enter the keyword rent into the WSB Radio app. You got 3 minutes to do it. RENT, rent. That's the 10 a.m. keyword in the 5K day bonus splits. Sabrina's got news, weather, and traffic in 3. When we come back, political analyst Bill Crane. How big is the Governor Kemp endorsement going to be for Derek Dooley? He'll explain next on The Mark Arum Show.
Man's best friend, loyal, trustworthy, dependable. Aw, that's Rufus, the bulldog, the chief barking officer for Findlay Roofing, the roof guys. Hey, it's Dave Baker. For over 30 years, Findlay Roofing's been your roof's best friend. They're the perfect match for your roof. Findlay is loyal with a lifetime warranty, trustworthy with upfront pricing, and dependable with the highest quality work. When you're not seeing Rufus on Findlay Roofing trucks, billboards, and TV commercials, he loves playing games like Fetch and Tug of War. But Rufus knows that if you play games with your roof, you'll lose every time. You'll always win with Findlay. They're the extra effort experts, making sure you have a remarkable roof replacement experience. When it comes to your roof, think of Rufus and Findlay first. 0% financing available. Schedule your free roof analysis, no obligation, no charge at FindlayRoofing.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-2798. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-575-2798. That's 800-575-2798.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
At Kroger Pharmacy, we make it easy to get flu, COVID, and RSV vaccines. They're available at no cost to you with most insurance plans, no appointment needed. And we're open weekdays, weeknights, and weekends, so come and visit us when it's most convenient for you. Kroger Health, a world of care is in store. Vaccines subject to availability. No cost to you with most insurance plans. Check with your plan for eligibility. Restrictions and exclusions may apply. See site for details.
Do you have mystery stains on your carpet? Call Zerorez Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Right now, clean more, and save up to $30. Mention WSB to secure this deal today. Schedule online at ZerorezAtlanta.com. Zerorez, it's the right way to clean.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 10:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by your Metro Atlanta AMCO dealers. A very disappointing jobs report has just been released this morning. August saw only 22,000 jobs added. Unemployment is up, and it's now at 4.3%. Business analyst Jill Schlesinger saying this latest data may push the Fed to cut interest rates.
This is a report that is consistent with a labor market that is weakening, and that likely means that the Federal Reserve is probably going to cut interest rates at its next meeting in about 10 days. We're expecting a quarter-point rate cut, but Chair Powell is probably going to underscore that there could be some price pressures that are building through the economy, and the Fed's going to watch that closely.
And while we're talking about jobs, Roswell will be the home for a new aerospace company. 45 people have already been hired there. Another 100 jobs are expected. It's PBS Aerospace, and it'll produce jet engines for drones and missiles. Let's take a look at the markets and see how they're reacting to the news about the jobs report this morning. We are now in the red. The Dow down 237 at 45,383. So the Dow's down more than 0.5%. NASDAQ and the S&P also in negative territory. All right, your weather for today, mostly sunny and 92 this afternoon, says Channel 2 Action News meteorologist Brad Nitz. He'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in just over 2 minutes. This is new at 10:30. The Georgia Department of Agriculture confirming this morning a positive case of high pathogenic avian influenza in Henry County. It was a non-commercial backyard flock where this test came back positive. It's the first case since January. Other residents with backyard flocks are urged to keep a close eye on their birds and immediately report any suspected illnesses. The Ag Department saying transmission most likely occurred through interaction with wild birds. With all the questions now surrounding vaccines and with Florida moving to remove vaccine mandates for children there are concerns. Dr. Tara Naruli says that the science of vaccines has not changed, saying that they have a history of working to save millions of lives, but she's worried about the patchwork of rules around vaccines now.
It's a fractured approach that we really haven't seen right now in this country before. And unfortunately, we are seeing exactly that. Florida sort of stepping backwards with their mandates, the Northwest and the Northeast forming alliances.
And the Georgia Department of Public Health halting COVID vaccines for now until they get guidance from the CDC on the new vaccine. The former chief operating officer in the Georgia Secretary of State's office is now running to be the top dog in that same office. Gabe Sterling served 6 years under current Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger. So far, no Democrat is running in the Secretary of State's race. Sterling joins fellow Republicans, including Kelvin King and State Representative Tim Fleming. President Trump will sign an executive order today that aims to rename the Department of Defense as the Department of War. That's according to multiple reports. Mr. Trump hinted at a name change while talking to reporters last month at the Oval Office. Changing the name likely would require an act of Congress, but it will make the Department of War its secondary title. Congress created the War Department back in 1789, but it was renamed the Department of Defense by President Truman in 1949. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Let's go to the 24-hour traffic center, and there we find Andrew Seco.
Finally starting to improve around the Metro Atlanta area, slowly getting back to that Friday light that we love so much here in the traffic center. We do have better news from that long-standing crash. All lanes back open, brake lights thinning out as we speak. I-20 eastbound, MLK Junior Drive, exit 53. Looking a lot better as you're heading through Scottsdale. Clarkston, long-standing crash is also completely cleared, back up to a speed limit ride on the inner loop 285 south, leaving the Stone Mountain Freeway on your way down towards I-20. The travel advisory is still active on I-20, leaving the Mall of Stonecrest westbound as you leave Evans Mill Road, exit 74. Going to stall in a left lane just past Panola Road, exit 71. Do yourself a favor, hop on Covington Highway, save you a little bit of time through here. And it looks like traffic pacing with possibly some road work as you're heading through Ellenwood, 675 south, packing in, leaving Forest Parkway on your way down towards Highway 23. That's exit number 2. Andrew Seco, 95.5 WSB.
I'm Channel 2 Action News Chief Meteorologist Brad Nitz. Mostly sunny, 92 today. Tomorrow, hot again, low 72, high up to 90 with a partly cloudy sky. We'll have some scattered showers and storms in the afternoon. The mostly sunny, breezy, and cooler on Sunday, low 67, high 84.
79 degrees in Tucker. It's 80 in Sandy Springs. Jefferson, you have 76 degrees right now. We'll have more news at 11 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
Online,
on the app,
where you get your news.
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
All right, thank you. The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
Oh, my word.
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app. The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
Your next chance to win is at 12 p.m.
Thank you to all of our soldiers and airmen. Thank you to the families.
That's Brigadier General
Thank you to our
Leland
employees.
Blanchard, commander of the D.C. National Guard. Coming up next, we'll discuss the expansion, possibly, of the National Guard in cities around the U.S. and a couple of big political stories here in Georgia. Political analyst Bill Crane live in 2 minutes on The Mark Arum Show.
2 houses, same neighborhood, nearly identical. But one had an orchard sign, and it sold for way more. So what happened? Well, the first homeowner used a traditional agent. And after weeks of sitting on the market, price drops, and mounting frustration, they settled for less than they'd hoped for. The second homeowner chose Orchard. Their local orchard agent didn't just list the home, they knew how to market it properly. They knew which upgrades would attract serious buyers, brought in pros to handle the prep, and positioned the home to sell for top dollar. And thanks to Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program, that homeowner moved into their new place before the old one even hit the market. No showings, no disruptions, no living in limbo. That's the difference. Never settle for less. Get more with Orchard. Start with a free home valuation at orchard.com. That's orchard.com.
This is Scott Slade with how a short phone call can change your life for the better. Take a few minutes and call MyLand and see if there's a way to put money in your pocket every month. There's so many options with MyLand. Here's an example. One of my friends at MyLand is looking at a reverse mortgage for his mom, who's 82. She's currently in a house that's paid for and too much to take care of by herself. So they're considering a reverse mortgage by selling her current house, then buying a smaller one by only putting 50% down and then putting the other 50% in her bank account, essentially trading homes and putting a couple of $100,000 in her pocket. If you or your parents have a similar situation, call MyLand, where the guys and gals there will put together a plan that's just right for you with no obligation. Call 770-817-2000. That's 770-817-2000. Online, it's myland.com. Spell it M-I-L-E-N-D. NMLS and Georgia Residential Mortgage License C148769, located at 8995 West Side Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. MyLand is an equal housing lender.
It's Home Show time! Dave Baker here, and it's time for the Fall Atlanta Home Show, September 5th through 7th at the Cobb Galleria Center. 3 days full of great tips and practical advice from over 200 local experts. For more info and to save money on your tickets, go to FallAtlantaHomeshow.com.
I did it my way.
He does it his way every Friday at this time. 11:37 on the Mark Arum Show. We welcome with open arms political analyst Bill Crane. William, good morning. Happy Friday, my friend.
Good morning. I keep working on that song, so one of these days I can open it up for you, but not there yet.
We've got a musical producer named Vinny Bag of Donuts on staff, so we can work on that with you. Bill, always a pleasure. A little news popped locally yesterday in Georgia politics. Gabe Sterling is going to run for Secretary of State. I hadn't heard even any talk about the Secretary of State's race, but it kind of makes sense that Mr. Sterling is going to run for that seat going forward.
It does, and there's two things that you get clearly from that. One is Brad Raffensperger is not going to run for re-election to that office, the current Secretary of State. I've known Gabe, next year will be 35 years. I gave him his first internship on the Paul Coverdell for U.S. Senate campaign back in 1991, and I watched him grow in public life from being a Sandy Springs City Council person to Deputy Secretary of State and now Chief Operating Officer. And though I know there are those who have concerns about the security and the viability of our election system, I've watched him test drive the three different systems the state's looked at and
He's one of the people who showed me in State Farm Arena the leak that came down that caused the one voting tabulation station to be closed on election night in 2020. He knows the equipment. He knows the election superintendents, and with all deference and apology to the other two candidates who I'm also familiar with on the Republican side, he has the knowledge to run that office.
Yeah, and became a national figure, right, following the 2020 election and all the accusations, et cetera, that were going on here in Georgia. But it's interesting. I love your political mind at work. When I saw this announcement, I didn't even think, Brad Raffensperger is not going to run again, which basically tells us he's going to run for another office.
Either something else or he's not going to stay in public life. He's got a business, he's successful. But the fact that he got a new haircut and he's darkening his hair again, I'm thinking he's going to announce himself.
Oh, interesting. All right, so we reached out to Mr. Sterling. He is unavailable today, but we're going to try to get him on next week. I hadn't even, I don't think I've mentioned the Secretary of State race, but it's obviously a really big position here in the state of Georgia. Got a massive endorsement last week from Governor Kemp endorsing Derek Dooley, the impact of the Kemp stamp of approval, Bill.
It's probably of two the most important endorsements you could have in this state, the other being the president. Derek Dooley has a blank slate, which if this were a state that has a habit of electing outsiders, and I would say is a good thing, but we don't. We didn't elect Guy Milner all three times he ran, or Michael Cole on the Democratic side, the CEO of the Great American Cookie Company. And I'm not saying you can't get elected without already being in office, but building name identification and a track record does seem to matter to Georgia voters. I love the Dooley family. I'm friends with Barbara. I knew Vince well. He demurred the former coach from running twice for statewide office, and Barbara did run for a state house seat and was not successful. But I do have to mention this, being a Bulldog fan. Bulldog Nation you get their attention with the Dooley name, but Derek Dooley wore different colors. He wore orange and white, and there's already a video circulating that I think Congressman Collins' campaign has put out of him dancing to Rocky Top in his Tennessee colors. And why I mention that is there's a difference between knowing about somebody or even liking them and giving them money and putting a yard sign up for someone who's a Tennessee Vol in the minds 10 years ago of many in Bulldog Nation. So that biggest kind of source of pride might not be as strong behind as he thinks.
Nonpartisan take by yours truly, Bill. Again, I love the Georgia Bulldogs. You're home of the dogs here. But I think Rocky Top is like the best school fight song of all time. I absolutely.
I got to admit, grit my teeth when I hear it because we usually hear it when Tennessee has been victorious.
Yeah.
But I've got daughters at Auburn, and there are a number of SEC schools who not only have great other traditions, but great bands and fight songs.
Well, that's
Tennessee
the thing too, Bill.
I will be in Knoxville for the Georgia-Tennessee game next weekend.
I don't think that that's not an outlier, right? You go into the newsroom and you'll see a dad who is a Georgia grad, and his daughter goes to Alabama or his son goes to Clemson. Like it's there's a lot of SEC, ACC incestual families. Yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing is the Hope Scholarship was just done wonders for keeping Georgia's brightest and best in state, which is why Zell Miller started it. Has also made it difficult for many students who are not performing at the top academically to get into the University of Georgia, which I think the freshman class of 6,000 was like 75% female. It's getting really hard for a young man to get into the school at all. And so Clemson and Tennessee and Auburn and Alabama and Ole Miss are all benefiting from that.
The fact that Kemp came out with this pretty early endorsement of Dooley, does that prevent or pause President Trump making an endorsement in this race?
The biggest impact so far was John King, the insurance commissioner, withdrew from that race because then it would have been a four-way and likelihood of a protracted runoff and lots of money being spent aiming at each other. I believe Donald Trump will get engaged in this race. He's more concerned about hanging for obvious reasons the House and Senate majorities. But he got involved, and I know Brian Kemp knows this, but he endorsed Brian Kemp at the urging of Sonny Perdue, his agriculture secretary, and Senator David Perdue in that election over Casey Cagle, who was at the time the front runner and the GOP lieutenant governor. Cagle's campaign started to stumble. Kemp had a good, at least topical conversation, television commercial involving him riding around with a pickup truck and saying he'd pick up illegal aliens in his own pickup. And Trump got behind Kemp without ever meeting him. So he understands the importance of that endorsement. So what I'm afraid we're going to have is in the Senate and governor's race, our governor and the president not aligned, as we saw in 26 years ago in the Kelly Loeffler race. That ends up with the GOP suffering as a result of that. And again, I'm not taking sides, but you would think the N party, who already knows you're at the disadvantage in the midterm elections, would get it together.
Yeah, I think everyone on the Republican side was hoping for consolidation, reconciliation, so the primaries aren't bloody and costly, so they could save their powder for the general election. But I mean, that's going to be a tall task, right?
That's toast. That's toast. And if you're John Ossoff, and I got to speak to his mother yesterday, you're smiling because that's all to benefit you.
Political analyst Bill Crane. Bill, heard earlier from the head of the National Guard in the District of Columbia. Looks like they're going to extend troops there, and we're still waiting to see if the possibility of troops will come here to Metro Atlanta.
Well, the notice of extension is first and foremost to the troops themselves, who are, who have a job and a family back home. So it's putting them on notice. Your tour is not ending yet. That doesn't necessarily mean, I think the extension's to 5 months, that they're going to be there that entire time. But that is a step in the process. The president is coming up on day 30 of this federalization, if you will, and activation of National Guard and federal law enforcement in the district. And he needs to start involving Congress, because of the way the Home Rule Act was written and passed by the Nixon administration and Congress. There are limitations to his authority in this area, and he's coming up on top of those. I think you may see the next move being New Orleans, where there's a governor who's receptive to accepting the help and then continuing, and I'll give Trump credit here, getting the governor of Illinois and the mayor of Chicago to basically say, we don't want your help, with the weekend they just had for Labor Day is playing right into his hands politically.
Yeah, unbelievable. But, I mean, when New Orleans popped, right, a Democratic city in a red state, similar situation here in Georgia. Atlanta, Democratic-run city, but in a red state. Might that, because it's easier for President Trump to send those federal troops if he gets the blessing of the governor.
That's a phone call. Maybe. I don't see, yes, Atlanta, the city of, has a crime problem, and it certainly has a problem with homeless population. It's a state he's probably going to carry. It's a state that GOP candidates in the governor's office look good to carry. I see less urgency there. It's possible. But because of some of the other issues we've discussed, I'm not saying it's probable. And I do think Andre Dickens and the chief of police in Atlanta would want to push back.
Yeah, indeed. Bill Crane, CSI Crane, political analyst. Bill, always a pleasure. Go Dogs, my friend.
Take care.
There you go. Congrats to Nedra in McDonough. She won $1,000 in the 5K a day bonus splits. Another chance for you to $1,000 comes right after the new news on 95.5 WSB. Heading back to Atlanta's only 24-hour traffic center, still looking at a big old jam on I-20, Andrew Seco.
That we are, but we're in the other side of I-20 as you leave the Mall of Stonecrest. Our big problem inside the perimeter has been cleared. I-20 eastbound MLK Jr. Drive, but we are looking really tough as you're leaving the Mall of Stonecrest. Only a right lane getting by. It's now a crash just past Panola Road on the westbound side, exit 71. Over 30 minutes of brake lights just getting you to 285. Avoid the area. Take Covington Highway as an alternate. We're still seeing some brake lights through Midtown, downtown, 75, 85 south, packing in on 85 proper. And you're slowing and going to brake lights all the way down towards Edgewood Avenue. Andrew Seco, 95.5 WSB.
The Bulldogs are 1-0 and take the field again tomorrow.
Toss to the back, and that is Phillips.
Tune in as 4th-ranked Georgia hits the gridiron against Austin Peay.
Phillips will break a tackle at the 8.
Your full day of Bulldogs programming begins at 11:30 a.m.
Sprint into the end zone for the first touchdown of the year.
Only on your home of the Dogs, 95.5 WSB. Brought to you in part by Hoffman Financial Group, official partner of the Georgia Bulldogs.
I love my home, and now I found a company that loves it as much as I do. TE Certified Electrical Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. It's Chris Chandler here. These folks have done work in my home. Boy, it didn't take long to realize I could trust their expertise, their attention to detail, and what I think you'll find, just as I did, an amazing level of service. TE Certified has more than 20,000 5-star reviews, and it's been serving Atlanta for decades.
TE Certified, we love your home.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. Looking for a more natural way to sleep? Our orthopedic natural mattresses combine our legendary quality with nature's finest materials. We hand build each mattress using renewable materials like cotton, wool, and natural latex. creating a luxury sleep experience that's as good for the planet as it is for you. Visit one of our showrooms to try them out in person, or visit originalmattress.com to learn more. The Original Mattress Factory. Sleep better, naturally.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell.
And I'm Monica Pearson. Dale and I have worked together for years, first at WSB, and today helping you find Georgia's best companies and sharing why they're the best.
Monica, one of the first companies I researched and recommended is Amco Transmissions and Total Car Care. For more than a dozen years, they've consistently met my 7-point standard and honored my Make It Right guarantee. And I know you believe in Amco just as much as I do.
Dale, over the years, we've both reported about people getting taken advantage of. So I'm keenly aware what it takes to deliver not just great performance, but great customer service. People who follow my advice literally stop me on the street and thank me for referring them to Amco.
We all need mechanics we can trust for correct diagnosis, efficient repair, and fair price. Not just for transmission repair, but engines, brakes, check engine lights, and so much more. Call the locally owned Amco near you.
And I know their nationwide warranty protects you everywhere.
That's AA.
MCO.
You know, dedicated first responders and service members like U.S. Army Major Scott Smiley have paid a very high price serving our nation and our communities. Now, this brave service member was in Iraq leading his platoon when a car bomb detonated right in front of him. This blast sent shrapnel through Scott's eyes, leaving him blind and temporarily paralyzed, but he refused to let his injuries stop his military career. Scott became the first blind active duty officer in the military in history before medically retiring years later. Thanks to your generosity and friends like you, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation was able to give Scott and his family a mortgage-free, specially adapted smart home to help him live more independently. Please help this great work continue. If you can give $11 a month or whatever you can give, go to their website. The letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org. That's the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
Those wire shelves in your closet are just a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. Dave Baker for Artisan Custom Closets. At Artisan, we see it all the time. The wire shelves come crashing down. Clothes, shoes, bags are everywhere. It's a disaster zone. Save yourself before this happens to you. With a custom, spacious closet from Artisan, you'll never have to look at that clutter again. Your shoes, bags, clothes, accessories, all neatly organized and designed to stay that way. ArtisanCustomClosets.com.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
You know, a lot of times you have to choose between something high quality or something that saves you money. But what if you could get both? Why not? Especially when it comes to health care, and that is Medi-Share. You get both. Many families save $500 a month with Medi-Share, and that's huge, but it's also true that people wind up way more satisfied, too. And we know this from research of members. There's a lot they like about Medi-Share, but especially they love being part of something they believe in. And Medi-Share works, too. It has for more than 30 years. There are hundreds of thousands of members who love having telehealth if they need it. They love the huge PPO network. So, yeah, really, you could save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or you're part of the gig economy or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price in 2 minutes. Here's the number. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
10:52 on the Mark Arum Show, 8 minutes away from your top local stories. 10:37. Deborah's got tickets to give away to see Jim Gaffigan. And then right after the new news, another keyword in the 5K day bonus blitz. Chance for, $1,000 here on 95.5 WSB. I teased this story earlier in the show. Big news from the Department of Transportation. Probably not good news for frequent flyers like me. Covering this story for Bloomberg News, Mary Schlangenstein. Mary, good morning. Thanks for your time.
Good morning.
I didn't see this coming. We had some sort of extra protection from the Biden administration as travelers where the major air carriers had to compensate us if our flights got canceled or delays. It looks like that compensation is going away.
Well, what's happened is that the Biden administration had issued what's called the proposed rulemaking, in which they were going to implement these fees against the airlines for delays caused by the airlines, and that was proposed in December 2024. It was never actually put into place, and so what the Trump administration did was they came out yesterday and said, we're not going to move forward with this. We're going to drop this. So basically, that possible protection going forward is now going to go away.
So it was never even in effect yet. It was just a proposal under the Biden administration.
That's right.
And what was that proposal? If this did actually become enacted, what kind of recompense would flyers have, and what are the circumstances that would garnish those reimbursements from the air carriers?
So the proposal would have required airlines to pay passengers at least $200 for domestic delays that were not weather-related issues and lasted at least 3 hours. Now, if it went up between delays of at least 6 hours, the top fee was $525 per passenger. And if it was less than 9, it was $750 to $775. So there were pretty hefty charges proposed against the airlines.
And that's interesting that weather delays not included in that. So I guess that's like an act of God clause. If it's weather, the airline's not liable.
Right. They pretty much were trying to focus on delays that the airlines could control and may have even caused.
So just, as someone that flies pretty frequently, I was disheartened to see this story. I would imagine the airlines are pretty happy, though, that this is no longer going to be a thing.
They are happy. They said yesterday that they were glad that the Trump administration was reviewing what they considered to be unnecessary and burdensome regulations, and that it actually exceeded the DOT's authority. That's how they classified these proposed rules. So I'm certain that they're happy to see them go away. And it's interesting because airlines in the U.S. have to refund passengers for canceled flights, but not for delays, even though other countries like the European Union, Canada, and Britain all have airline delay compensation rules.
Interesting. What about my $12 meal voucher? Is that still a thing?
The airlines in 2022 committed to taking certain actions. And if you recall, they all posted on their websites dashboards, and the DOT posted this overall dashboard that you could look at, and it would show you, what airline would give you a meal voucher, which one would give you a hotel voucher, things like that. And so those things have remained in place.
Mary Schlangenstein, Bloomberg News. Mary, great insight. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
There you go. All right. So that wasn't even a thing, and it's not for weather-related delays. So my delays to and from Chicago wouldn't have mattered. One other airline story, Spirit Airlines slashing service to some U.S. cities. Correspondent Jesse Mitchell has more.
Spirit Airlines is cutting routes to nearly a dozen cities, including 4 cities in California, starting next month. The budget air carrier is also nixing plans to begin service in Macon, Georgia. The announcement came less than a week after Spirit announced it was filing for bankruptcy for the second time this year due to rising operating costs and debt. In a statement to CBS News, Spirit says customers affected by the change in service will be notified of their options, including a refund.
Wow. All right. So there is a Georgia angle that they were going to start service out of Macon. Deborah, I didn't even know Macon had an airport.
Isn't that where Erickson flies in and out of?
His private airport, maybe his PJ, his private jet. But I know he comes up to Hartsfield and gets the gold glove, red glove, white glove treatment. I'm still thinking about my Keebler cookies that are at BOGO, and they're sitting at home for me. All right, Sabrina's got your news, weather, and traffic. When we come back, updating our top local stories. Social medias active throughout the broadcast. Give us a follow at Mark Arum and at WSB Radio.
WSB Atlanta, WSB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Overhead Door Company of Atlanta is hiring residential garage door technicians and installers. You can earn a hiring bonus up to $2,500. Apply today at overheaddooratlanta.com. Overheaddooratlanta.com.
My name is Maria. Okay, I lied. It's Mary. But I'm feeling more European after my European-style holiday on MSC Cruises. The restauranti, restaurants. nightlife and shops in La Galeria. And of course, American touches, like a sports bar and water slides. Ah, bellissimo. Okay, this is a problem.
Book now and save up to 40% off, plus kids sail free. MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
The last thing on your mind is maintaining your septic system. It's all good until it's not. Hi, I'm Shannon, owner of Scorpion Septic. Don't wait for a septic emergency. Our affordable, routine maintenance will keep your system running smoothly.
Take the sting out of septic service with Scorpion Septic. Never a pump out charge with your repair. Get a free quote at scorpionsepticservices.com.
ScorpionSepticServices.com. Scott Slade here. Are you a European car enthusiast and interested in networking with like-minded car owners? My preferred European car service center, Wolfpen, is celebrating their one-year anniversary this Saturday with a car show at their state-of-the-art facility. Come network with other car owners from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. in Roswell. There will be food trucks, coffee, and, of course, some extraordinary cars. All cars are welcome. 670 Howes Way in Roswell. Go to wolfpen.com for directions. See you Saturday.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hi there, good morning. It is 11 o'clock. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This is new at 11 o'clock. Roswell police bust an Ellenwood man for targeting multiple young teenagers online for sex. Police say they've arrested 21-year-old Lorenzo Abarca.
Our investigation revealed that Abarca used the social media platform Snapchat to connect with his victims, where he then subjected them to online and, in some cases, physical sexual abuse.
That is Officer Tim Lupo with Roswell Police. He says at least 5 victims have been identified so far. They fear that there may be more victims. So far, he's facing charges of obscene internet contact with a child, contributing to the delinquency of a minor, sexual exploitation of a minor, and sodomy. And warrants are pending for additional victims who have been identified. Investigators believe there may still be even more victims. All right, so your weather for today, mostly sunny and a high of 92, says Channel 2 Action News meteorologist Brad Nitz. He'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in just a couple of minutes. This is also new at 11 o'clock. In DeKalb County, the sheriff's office there tells us an inmate has died at the DeKalb County lockup. This inmate died following a medical emergency. An on-site medical team responded immediately, provided emergency care until EMS arrived. And the person was transported to a local hospital where he was later pronounced dead. And he has now been identified, that inmate identified as 49-year-old Preston Gabriel Bush of Doraville. The city of Winder holding a resource fair tonight to help people with mental health issues triggered by the Appalachia High School shooting. Winder City spokeswoman Sarah Freeland says that thank goodness its First Friday rally is meant to be both a fun event and a way for the community to heal.
There will be a booth from Appalachia's Resource Center kind of there to help people.
She says the pep rally held at Jug Tavern Park will include mental health resources and help from local churches. It's aimed at bringing the community together, supporting families still coping from last year's school shooting, while also celebrating the community's resilience. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB. Atlanta police make an arrest after a sexual assault outside a busy Buckhead store.
The suspect, identified as 28-year-old Torin Mott, is accused of attacking a woman outside a Target store on Peachtree Road, dragging her down a stairwell before he was eventually stopped by a witness who intervened. Police say just a day before, they believe Mott was responsible for a similar incident at 960 East Paces Ferry Road. He's facing a long list of charges, including kidnapping and aggravated sodomy. He's being held without bond at the Fulton County Jail. Jennifer Perry, 95.5 WSB.
It's being called the largest immigration enforcement operation in Georgia history. It happened at the massive construction site of a new Hyundai plant outside of Savannah.
We are actively conducting an investigation into unlawful employment practices going on at this massive multi-hundred-acre construction site.
Homeland Security spokesperson Stephen Shrink calling it a judicially authorized enforcement operation. The ATF posting on social media that the raid resulted in the detention of about 450 people. Employers added just 22,000 jobs in August, with hiring decelerating from 79,000 in July. Unemployment is up to 4.3%. That's the highest level since 2021. As we take a look at the markets, the Dow is down 358 at 45,262. NASDAQ also down almost a full percent. So is the S&P. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams in the WSB 24-hour traffic center. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Sabrina. We made it to Friday, and finally some good news on the East Freeway. The crash is cleared 20 westbound past Panola Road, exit 71, so delays starting to improve out of Lithonia. And your slow I-20 eastbound, not due to a crash, it's due to construction. I-20 eastbound, this construction is just before Panola Road. You're dealing with a left lane block there, and just found construction between Lawrenceville and Decula on 316 in both directions. You got a left lane blocked eastbound and a right lane blocked westbound. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm Channel 2 Action News Chief Meteorologist Brad, and it's mostly sunny today. We'll top out around 92. A stray shower possible this evening. Most of us stay dry. Scattered showers and storms tomorrow afternoon. Rain chance 40%, low 72, high 90. Mostly sunny, breezy, and 84 on Sunday.
It is 82 degrees in Dunwoody, 79 in Sugar Hill. Here in Midtown Atlanta, we have 82 degrees. More news at 11:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
I want this town to be near you.
11:05 on this extremely busy News Day Friday. Welcome back, friends. Mark, Aaron, and crew with you till noon. 30 minutes from right now. Deborah's got our final pair of tickets to see Jim Gaffigan September 12th. My anniversary. It's the Aram anniversary tour for Jim Gaffigan. That will be at Atlanta Symphony Hall. And then in 1 hour, I'm going to give you another chance to win $1,000 as the 5K a day bonus blitz continues. I'll give you that keyword right after the new news. Before Eric Erickson here on 95.5 WSB. I got an update on that horrific shooting in Minneapolis at the Catholic school. But before we get to that, breaking news. I feel embarrassed that I didn't know what today was. Goodness gracious. Today, Deborah, our beloved Waffle House celebrates their 70th birthday.
How did you not
How
know
did
that?
it should be tattooed on my forearm? September 5th, 1955. Oh, that's the year that Marty McFly went back in time.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd go back in time in the DeLorean to the opening of the Waffle House. Yeah, September 5th, 1955, 70 years ago today, the first ever Waffle House opened in Avondale Estates, Georgia, and it is now it served 25 states. There are Waffle Houses in 25 states, not Connecticut. I'm sure there's some in Texas, right? There's got to be Waffle Houses in Texas. What about Wisconsin, Deborah? You didn't grow up with a Waffle House,
We did not have Waffle House in Texas. I think they started to pop up closer to the Mason-Dixon line.
Yeah, 40,000 employees, 2,021 locations. I feel horrible that I didn't know today was the Waffle House 70th birthday. So happy birthday to my friends at Waffle House. They have become part of popular culture. Whether it's the viral videos of what goes down at 3 a.m. after the clubs, or after church, you have breakfast, or before church,
The Waffle House Index.
Yeah, the Waffle House Index, whether or not the hurricane's severe or not. I didn't know until recently, and I didn't go to a psychiatrist or anything. I self-diagnosed this. Why I had such a love of Waffle House when I love Waffle House. We know this. It's like the Waffle House on Howell Mill. I walk in there, it's like Norm from Cheers. It's like, Mark. And it's great food, but I never realized why I had such a subconscious affinity for Waffle House until I recognized that the first time I ever went to Waffle House was years ago when my mom took me down to Disney World for the first time ever. I don't know how old I was, 12 or 13. She'll correct me, I'm sure, on the Piccadilly text line. But it was the first. I grew up, with I had a strict childhood, right? My mom lied to me and said I couldn't eat lobster till I was 16 years old, and I believed that all the way until I was 15 years old. There was no soda in our house, no sugared soda, no sugared cereals. I had to finish a glass of milk for every meal before I could leave the table. Like, it was a strict upbringing, and especially on the rare occasions where we did go out to eat. I was only allowed to order from the children's menu, or if there was no children's menu, I had a financial. So I was doing food math early on in life. Like $3, 1978, we're going out to Ponderosa or whatever, Lums. And it was like, my mom would be like, all right, you can have anything on this menu, $4 or less, right? That was the upbringing I had. And I have no complaints. Obviously, I turned out to be a perfectly normal adult. But I remember the first time I went to Waffle House, I'd never even heard of Waffle House before. And we went down there, and you know the sign, and I was like, oh, all right. And we're like, we're going to go to Waffle House. And we get there, and for the first time in the 12 or 13 years of my life, my mom says to me, you can order anything on the menu you want. It was like that more important, perhaps, becoming a man than my bar mitzvah was, right? That's the ritual, the Jewish ritual, bar mitzvah, you officially become a man at 13. This might have happened before then. And for the first time in my life, my mom was like, you can order anything on the menu you want. That was crazy, mind-blowing. So I pulled up the Waffle House menu. You all know it. You recognize it. And I immediately went, what's the most expensive thing on this thing? It wasn't like...
What's over $4?
Yeah, it's like not what do I want for breakfast? It was what I've never had this power before. And I looked at the menu and I was like, wait, boom, steak and eggs, $7.25 or whatever it was. I was like, I want steak and eggs. I'd never had steak and eggs in my life. I didn't even know that was a thing. So I think I self-diagnosed. I wasn't on a psychiatrist's couch, and Dr. Katz was like, "Oh, that's why you like what? That's why. I mean, obviously the food's delicious too. But yeah, big moment in my life. First time ever I could order anything I wanted on the menu, and I've taken that into adulthood. That experience again, all subconscious. When I finally I reached a point in my career where I could go to a restaurant and not have to worry about what the prices were. That was a red letter day in my life. Because all the way up until, deep into my WSB radio career, there were certain things, I was not looking at the daily specials or anything that said market price. Forget it. What are you doing? No, I'm not ordering. And going on dates in the late 90s here in Atlanta, and you ask a girl out to a nice dinner, and you're like, all right, she has to order first, and then I got to do backwards math to see how much I can order. So if I have $60 for this date, and I take the girl to Nava in Buckhead, where Kevin Rathbun used to be the chef, I'd be like, all right, she just ordered the scallops. They're $22. She's going to get a drink. That's $8. So that's $30. So I have $30 left, but I got to have to tip. So I need to get an entree that's $18. Like, I remember doing that math. I'm sure some of you still do that math. And I'm happy to. I'm not going to retire a millionaire. I'm not going to donate $100 million to Georgia Tech, but I do not go to a restaurant now and worry about, can I afford this? That gives me comfort. Am I? You had to have a similar feeling, Longoria. You struggled for.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not at your level where I'm like market price, whatever. Yeah. But I mean, I do. There are restaurants that we go to as the family where I don't have to really worry about it anymore. Yeah.
That takes. I mean, you've reached a point in your life, and again, you and I have similar career paths. Struggling. The Wiener Schnitzel you were working at. I was working at a bowling alley, and then, but getting and struggling through radio early years, and now you're management. And now you can take your daughters out, and you don't. I'm assuming you don't tell your daughters you can only order off the kids menu.
No, not at all.
That's
they
a
don't.
good
They don't
feeling.
even want the kids menu anymore.
Yeah,
we tried that with a young one, and they're like, "Dad, I don't want the kids menu."
Yeah,
Like,
well, see, you should have ingrained it like my mom did. You can you can only order off the kids
they're
menu,
spoiled, man.
or anything $3 or less. But I'm sorry I went on this tangent, but happy 70th birthday to Waffle House. Very special place to me, obviously. Yeah. One more related story. So back in our struggling days, when I lost my scholarship in college, I had to pay my own way, got a job, etc. I remember working out a food budget because food insecurity, Deborah, right? That I had. All right, my apartment was $360 a month, which is pretty shocking. 1-bedroom apartment for only $360. I mean, it was in Poughkeepsie. It's not, beautiful place. But I'm trying to figure out my food budget. And there was a pizza place called Emiliano's. Just, average pizza place. But they would run it because they were catering to the college. They would have $5 pizzas. So you could, and it was not a great pizza, but it was $5 for a legitimately, large pizza. So I remember doing the math and being like, all right, if I get a $5 pizza, that could theoretically feed me for 2 days or 1.5 days. So I'm like, all right, if I get 4 $5 pizzas a week, I can spend 20. Like I wasn't worried. I wasn't thinking about any breakfast or anything nutritious. But I remember going, all right, that's my food budget. I can get 4 $5 pizzas from Emiliano's, $20 a week. I can handle that. And now what do? I go in market price, schmarket price. Give it. No, I'm not stupid with that.
Yeah.
Like if it's crazy. When I went to Vegas, the steak place was like, I was like, what do you recommend? He's like, oh, the $180 tomahawk. I'm like, I'll have the lamb chops for $40, dude. You're not upselling me that. Anyway, happy birthday to Waffle House. All right, Deborah, it hasn't been in the news, unfortunately, but we do have an update on the Minneapolis Catholic school shooting. Authorities have talked to the owner of the gun shop that sold the weapons to the now deceased evil suspect. What did the gun shop owner had to say?
Yeah, well, so he wasn't there the day that Robin Westman actually came in. But, of course, there's surveillance footage. So he right away turned that over to the police and said, hey, check this out. And basically what it shows is Robin was in the store about 40 minutes and looked at all kinds of guns. She actually bought a revolver as well. That gun was not used in the shooting. But the owner of the store, Corey Krause, noticed that nothing was odd about their demeanor. They weren't asking any weird questions. They weren't having like a shifty behavior or anything. They passed all of the background checks. You had a valid permit to purchase guns, and their store is actually trained into noticing and catching any red flags about behavior, any signals, and just nothing was off about Robin Westman that day.
Now, you referenced her as a she. Is that confirmed? Like she was a male that was transitioning, or?
I have different things on different stories, so
Okay.
I'm not. That's why I was trying to say they. I'm not sure the pronouns that they chose.
Well, a bit born
But it's
biological
Rob-
male.
the name
Okay.
here is Robin, which was the name that was changed from Robert.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right, so that's confirmation because I wasn't sure. I never really got. But if Robert was now going by Robin,
Mhm.
then interesting. All right, thank you. I'd heard rumors and whispers online that it was the suspect was transgender, but I had not gotten confirmation. But I mean, if you switch from Robert to Robin, I think that's confirmation on that. Sadly, though, we haven't had much in the way of motive going on. New information on the motive there. Sadly, even though the Robert, whatever, left that manifesto and that crazy 10-minute video, which if you haven't watched it, don't watch it. It is the face of evil, like face of, and you don't even see her or his face or whatever, their face. You just hear the voice, which is definitely a dude's voice. If they were transitioning, they were not trying to change the voice at all. It was that's why I was like, "What? Are you sure?" Because
How was that video not flagged immediately?
Oh, it was. It was on YouTube, and YouTube immediately took it down. But some enterprising sleuths were able to archive it and post it on Twitter or X. I'm sorry. Oh, speaking of X, that's kind of I guess would we call X Elon Musk's side hustle, Deborah?
I guess it's a side hustle now, yeah.
Like I'm sure it goes Tesla probably for him, SpaceX, and then X is probably like his side hustle. Tesla's board wants to give CEO Elon Musk more pay and more power. CBS News correspondent Michael Wallace has the story.
The board is asking investors to approve a pay package that would award Musk up to 423 million more shares if Tesla hits certain milestones over the next decade. His stake could grow to $1 trillion, giving him control of 12% of the company and more voting power. The chairman of Tesla's board says retaining and incentivizing Elon is fundamental to Tesla becoming the most valuable company in history. The board will also ask shareholders whether Tesla should invest billions in Musk's AI research and development company, XAI. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Now, I don't know about the inner workings of the board of Tesla, but to me, that is a huge carrot stick thing. I think the board of Tesla was not happy with Elon Musk's political foray, right? Becoming President Trump's right-hand man and devoting time, money to the Trump campaign, and then the first few months of the Trump administration, kind of neglecting Tesla. And you saw the stock slide. So I see that as, hey, if we meet certain goals, Mr. Musk, you can get up to 423 million more shares of our company, which would make you a legit trillionaire. I think that's the board saying to Musk, hey, forget everything else. Tesla's your baby. That's your bread and butter. Focus. That's the way I read that situation. Can you imagine he's a trillionaire?
Whatever he's doing with Grok, it's great.
Grok is phenomenal. I got to post some stuff. I'm going to post some of Deborah's got a couple of creations today. I'll post them on my Instagram page at Mark Arum, MarkArum. All right, we're going to come back, update our top local stories. But first, on this Friday morning, still dealing with delays on I-20 and on the south side. Let's say hello and good morning to Alex Williams.
Hey, good morning, Mark. Cleaning up both of those. We do have left lane construction, though, in DeKalb, 20 eastbound between Wesley Chapel and Panola Road, so look out for that. Also checking on a new slow zone, might be construction as well in DeKalb, 285 northbound, the outer loop, passing Covington Highway. You're seeing a few brake lights starting before Glenwood Road, and construction both ways on Highway 316 out there toward the Cula. Westbound, you have a right lane blocked at Cedars Road, and eastbound, that left lane is blocked, so seeing some brake lights both ways there. Traffic brought to you by YRefi.com. Is private student loan debt ruining your life? It doesn't have to. Just go to YRefi.com. That's YREFY.com and get your life back. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
When the news matters to you.
The FAA says the flight crew was reporting possible smoke in the flight deck.
95.5 WSB has you covered.
Beef prices are going up.
Your 24/7 news source.
They had no ties to a gang, but they were killed by
when
them.
you need the story, all you need to do is listen. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's breaking news station.
Skip the hassle of constantly cleaning and costly repairs and sell your home completely stress-free with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Sean Hannity here. Now's a great time to sell your home in Atlanta as home values have continued to rise and your home may be worth more than you even realize. With the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, you can receive the strongest cash offer in the industry and close within days. Find out what the guaranteed offer would be on your home. There's no obligation. Go to markspain.com and you can start packing.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, every week on the show, we offer folks something we call the Portfolio X-Ray. I was hoping you could walk us through that process and tell us why the information it uncovers is so powerful.
Yeah, so the reason we love doing the Portfolio X-Ray for you is we do that behind the scenes. Everybody's extremely busy. Nobody wants to waste time in traffic. If you call in, we will ask you for some information via the phone. Once you've given us that information, we go to work and we put all the hours in developing the report. And I commit this to you. The Portfolio X-Ray is eye-opening. At least 90+% of the time, we can find 2 or 3 golden nuggets in there that you were not aware of that we can either change in your current portfolio mix for you. It's called a 401k optimizer. Or if we manage the assets for you, we certainly can recommend how to diversify away from some of the troubling points that are exposed during the Portfolio X-Ray. Once we've got that, then we'll have you in for your initial consultation. We will present the Portfolio X-Ray to you and walk you through the high points of it. And that's a document that you get to take with you. It's like getting a financial physical. Mm-hmm. So how many of you avoided going to the doctor for the annual physical last year? You do the same thing with your financial life. You ignore it. You keep pumping money into your 401k. You hope that it's going well, and I can tell you that hope is not a good investment or financial planning strategy. You need to know. So if you want to know, call us.
The Portfolio X-Ray is complimentary. Give Hoffman Financial Group a call to schedule yours today. 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
At the Original Mattress Factory, you'll often hear us say we can't fit our quality in a box. Our customers feel the same way. Here's what an actual OMF customer had to say.
I recently purchased a bed-in-a-box mattress and returned it a month later. I replaced it with a bed from the Original Mattress Factory, and I am beyond thrilled. Don't bother with any of the online mattress brands. Go to OMF and you'll be in great hands. My only regret is not going there sooner.
Come see our quality firsthand at the Original Mattress Factory.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out collection letters, garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it even harder to get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in taxpayer assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Let them fight on your behalf, helping to put your tax problems to rest. Call the tax professionals at Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Join Findlay Roofing this weekend at the Fall Atlanta Home Show at the Cobb Galleria Center. Dave Baker here. Stop by the Findlay Roofing booth and say roof, roof during our live broadcast of the Home Fix-It Show Saturday morning. More info at FallAtlantaHomeShow.com.
I, for one, believe there are lessons to be drawn from her life and from the extraordinary and moving reaction to her death.
All right, Deborah, quick quiz. I'm gonna play that audio for you again.
As the president.
That's not the same audio. Here's the same audio.
I, for one, believe there are lessons to be drawn from her life and from the extraordinary and moving reaction to
Is
her
that the
death.
real Queen Elizabeth, or is that Queen Elizabeth from The Crown?
Oh, is that the Crown?
Nope, that's the real
No,
Queen
it's
Elizabeth.
Real Queenie too. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
20 years ago today, stung by criticism that the royal family had reacted coldly to the death of Princess Diana, Queen Elizabeth delivered her condolences in a rare address to the nation. Just goes to show how good The Crown is.
Yes.
Because when I heard that, I'm like, wait, that's the cut from The Crown, not the actual Queen. Are we going to get another season of The Crown? They have to.
I mean,
I want
kind
Meghan
of
Markle.
It ends with, the Queen, right, not too far when she passed away. So
Yeah.
it'd have to be like Charles taking over and everything.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm so excited. I'm also excited on my anniversary. If you're not going to see Jim Gaffigan, go see the final Downton Abbey movie, which is it premiered in London earlier this week. I went and slid into the DMs of every actor on that show on Instagram, trying to get someone to come on and talk about the Downton Abbey. And like 3 or 4 of the actors have fewer followers than I do on Instagram. So I'm like,
Probably run by companies, right?
these are like, little English actors like Bertie Pelham, the actor that plays Bertie Pelham. Like he's got like 2,000 followers on Instagram. Like, oh, this dude will reply to me. Well, no, nothing. I know I wasn't going to get Lady Mary or the Count, the Earl, but anyway, I'm very excited about the Downton Abbey movie, the finale of the movie. All right. Reminder, this is great. Next Thursday, we still have a few tickets. This is the last chance you can get tickets today, by the way, to the WSB Host Meet and Greet Truist Park next Thursday, September 11th at 6 p.m. I'll be there. The Erics, Shelley, Chris Chandler, all the hosts, the traffic team, everyone's going to be there at the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Park at Truist Park. First ever time we've done this. It's going to be a meet and greet. I'm going to MC a panel of all the hosts. You can ask us questions, basically ask us anything. And most notably for Longoria and Vinny, heavy hors d'oeuvres and drinks will be provided. So food there. There's going to be a home run derby, a wiffle ball home run derby. I'm going to bring home the crown for the Mark Arum Core 4. I'll make sure I win that for you. But there are just a few tickets left, and today's the last day you can get them. Go online to choa.org/WSB events. That's CHOA.org/WSB events. If you're driving around, don't worry. It's on my Twitter page and my Facebook page. Would love to see you there next Thursday, 6 p.m., Truist Park. One of our coolest first ever incentives for the 25th annual WSB Carathon. All right, Sabrina's got your news, weather, and traffic in 3. We'll be right back. It's the Mark Arum Show on WSB.
Well, I bet it is safe to say you are sick and tired of home services companies that don't show up on time, don't get it right, ghost you then when you need them later. Hey, it's Chris Chandler. I don't have to worry about any of that because I only trust TE Certified Electrical Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. TE Certified is a well-oiled machine with the highest level of communication and follow-up. They're on time, friendly, and fully stocked.
TE Certified, we love your home.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-575-2798.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-575-2798. That's 800-575-2798.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You need a real vacation, one where you can truly disconnect and be present. I'm Richard with Lux and Rome Travel. I take the stress out of planning so you can focus on relaxing, enjoying, and making memories that last a lifetime. From European family adventures to luxury cruises, we design trips tailored just for you. Be present on your dream vacation with Lux and Rome. Book today at luxrome.com. That's LuxeRoam.com. That's luxrome.com.
If you've ever organized your closet only to have it look like a bomb went off in there 1 month later, then it's time to call Artisan Custom Closets. Reach-in closets, walk-in closets, pantry spaces, garages. With a custom spacious closet from Artisan, you'll never have to deal with all that clutter again. All your stuff neatly organized and designed to stay that way. Call the Closet Bomb Squad, Artisan Custom Closets. They'll diffuse your clutter and make it safe to enter your closet again. ArtisanCustomClosets.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by Rocco's European Garage. Roswell police have arrested a man on child exploitation charges after he targeted about a half a dozen teens on Snapchat.
This case is a stark example of how online interactions can lead to real-world harm.
That's Officer Tim Lupo with Roswell Police. He says 21-year-old Lorenzo Abarca is behind bars right now. So far, 5 victims have been identified. Police fear there may be more victims. All right, your weather for today, according to Channel 2 Action News meteorologist Brad Nitz, mostly sunny and a high of 92. He'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in just over 2 minutes. A new report indicates that a popular Atlanta guitarist was at fault in the crash that took his life.
51-year-old Brent Hines was a founding member of the Atlanta-based heavy metal band Mastodon. He was killed last month when the Harley-Davidson he was driving collided with a BMW SUV at the intersection of Boulevard and Memorial Drive. An Atlanta police report shows Hines was driving more than 30 miles over the posted speed limit at the time of the crash. He suffered extensive injuries and was taken to Grady but did not survive. Hines recorded 7 albums with Mastodon, which won a Grammy in 2018 for Best Metal Performance. He and the band had parted ways earlier this year. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
The Georgia Department of Agriculture confirming today a positive case of avian flu in Henry County. It was a non-commercial backyard flock, and this is the first case since January. Other residents with backyard flocks are being urged to keep a close eye on their birds and immediately report any suspected illnesses. The Agriculture Department saying transmission most likely occurred through interaction with wild birds or environmental exposure to the virus. Spirit Airlines is cutting service to some U.S. cities. Correspondent Jesse Mitchell has more on that.
Spirit Airlines is cutting routes to nearly a dozen cities, including 4 cities in California, starting next month. The budget air carrier is also nixing plans to begin service in Macon, Georgia. The announcement came less than a week after Spirit announced it was filing for bankruptcy for the second time this year due to rising operating costs and debt. In a statement to CBS News, Spirit says customers affected by the change in service will be notified of their options, including a refund.
And while we're talking about flying, this could impact you. The Trump administration dropping a Biden-era plan that calls for airlines to compensate passengers for flight delays. Last December, the Department of Transportation sought public comment on a plan to require airlines to pay passengers up to $300 for 3-hour delays and up to $700 for longer delays. Now, the DOT saying that it's dropping that plan, quote, consistent with department and administration priorities. Now, the department said that it would also be considering withdrawing a Biden-era rule that required airlines to disclose service fees alongside their airfares. Employers added just 22,000 jobs in August, and unemployment is now at 4.3%. That's the highest level we've seen since 2021. Chief economist with KPMG, Diane Swonk, says that uncertainty is one of the reasons for the slowing economy.
Lower and middle income households on confidence measures are struggling much more, and more of the gains that we're seeing are concentrated among more affluent households. Leisure and hospitality picked up, and we know that the high end of the income strata are doing the most in discretionary spending, while low and middle income households have curbed that quite dramatically.
And the weak numbers may mean that the Federal Reserve could cut interest rates at their next meeting. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams in the WSB 24-hour traffic center on this Friday morning.
Hey, Sabrina, the road work is in full force on this beautiful day out in DeKalb County. They're in the left lane, 20 eastbound, just past Wesley Chapel Road, exit 68. So a few brake lights as you make that trek out toward Lithonia. A double work zone between Lawrenceville and Decula, Highway 316 at Cedars Road. If you're traveling westbound, they've been in a right lane. Looks like they actually just opened up that right lane. They've been in a left lane westbound as well. So that's why you're seeing the brake lights between Lawrenceville and Decula. And if you're traveling downtown, 75, 85 southbound, still seeing some of those brake lights starting in Midtown from 17th Street. But once you get past North Avenue, it's much better as you head down to I-20, exit 247. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm Channel 2 Action News Chief Meteorologist Brad Nitz. Mostly sunny, 92 today. Tomorrow, hot again, low 72, high up to 90 with a partly cloudy sky. We'll have some scattered showers and storms in the afternoon. The mostly sunny, breezy, and cooler on Sunday, low 67, high 84.
We have 82 degrees here in Midtown Atlanta. More news at noon, breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
The news of the day through the eyes of Eric Von Hessler.
It's the only way to do any kind of reform of the federal government.
If it's on your mind, it's on his.
I don't remember it.
Eric Von Hessler. Today at 3.
Who are you speaking for?
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
If you look at what's going on in the world with health, and look at this country also with regard to health, I like the fact that he's different.
President Trump commenting on RFK Jr. In front of the Senate committee. By the way, Eric Erickson name dropped during that Senate hearing. I'll play you that audio next. Plus, Deborah's got tickets to give away to see Jim Gaffigan. Straight ahead on The Mark Arum Show.
You worked hard for your 401k, but if you've left your job, your money might be sitting in the wrong hands. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and it's very possible that the 401k that you have had for years has hidden fees and limited investment choices. But if you're no longer with the company, that 401k may be at the mercy of your former employer. All of these things could be costing you thousands. Rolling over your 401k into an IRA can provide better investment options that align with your long-term goals. At Trajan Wealth, we're fiduciary advisors that are held to a higher standard with no hidden agenda and no hidden fees. Don't let your retirement dollars sit in an old plan, and don't roll it over to your new plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. Call 404-390-4000. That's 404-390-4000.
Advisory services are offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Whether it's a slip that ends in a slip disc, a trick knee that's holding you back, or shoulder pain hurting your game, you can count on Northside Hospital Orthopedics. With leading care in Georgia at convenient locations all across the state, we're here to get you back on your feet, no matter what comes your way. Because Georgia moves us, and we keep Georgia moving. Find a provider near you at northside.com/ortho. That's northside.com/ORTHO.
Hey, did you hear that Florida just legalized gold and silver? Yep, my new home state, the free state of Florida, has made it legal to use gold and silver as money. Now, Governor DeSantis explained it all by saying, this is our ability to give you the financial freedom to be able to protect yourself against the declining value of the dollar. This is exactly why I partnered with a top precious metals company myself. If you want to learn more about how gold and silver can help protect your money, if you want to inform yourself, do your due diligence, reach out to my partners at Goldco. They're a great company. I'm a customer. They've helped me out tremendously. Check them out on the web, HannityGold.com, or call, no obligation, 855-815-GOLD. Get their free 2025 gold and silver kit. You'll also learn about their unlimited bonus silver offer. That's 855-815-GOLD or HannityGold.com. That's HannityGold.com.
Two similar homes for sale, same neighborhood, but the one with the Orchard sign sold for more. Why? Well, Orchard's local agents know what buyers want, make smart upgrades, and handle it all. Get your free home valuation at Orchard.com.
Ox, a camel, and a kangaroo. This song going out to lovely Miss Linda. Deborah, I opened my mail today, and I got a handwritten letter from Miss Linda who says she misses terribly the Ox, Camel, and Kangaroo song. We had taken it off because it's about Noah and the flood, and we had the Texas flooding.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that it was missed. So, Linda, in honor of you, we are, as long as Deborah's okay with it, until the next flood situation, which could be any day now. But we're gonna go back with the Ox, Camel, and Kangaroo song. So
sounds good.
Very sweet handwritten note from Miss Linda. So there you go, Ox, Camel, Kangaroo. All right, Linda, you are eligible to win a prize pack right now. Our final pair of tickets to give away to see whom, Deborah?
Jim Gaffigan, September 12th. That's next Friday at Atlanta Symphony Hall.
All right, let's do the 132nd caller. No, I'm just kidding. 12th caller, Vin. 12th caller. Vinny just fell off his chair. 12th caller, Vin, to 404-872-0750. 12th caller to 404-872-0750 wins a pair of tickets to see Jim Gaffigan on my anniversary, September 12th, at the beautiful Atlanta Symphony Hall. If you miss out on the Gaffigan tickets, I'm sorry, but you do have a chance to win $1,000 coming up after the new news. I'm going to give you another keyword in the 5K day bonus blitz. You can win $1,000 just like that, just like Nedra and McDonough did in the 10 a.m. hour. So that keyword coming up right after the new news. All right, so we've been covering the tense, contentious hearing yesterday in front of the Senate Finance Committee. HHS Secretary, controversial figure in his own right, Robert Kennedy Jr., getting hammered from really both sides of the aisle. I wanted to play this video. This is Senator Bill Cassidy, Republican from Louisiana, MD. And I was watching this go down yesterday, and I was like, oh, he just mentioned our buddy. This is Bill Cassidy talking to RFK Jr. yesterday during the Senate Finance Committee hearing.
You also told Senator Wyden at the outset that you didn't want to take vaccines away from people. And as I conclude, I would like to say this. Because of the conflicting recommendations made about COVID. This is from Eric Erickson, good conservative out of Atlanta, Georgia. Occasionally gives me hell. My wife has stage 4 lung cancer. She is one of the people the COVID vaccine actually helps. Thanks to the current mess at HHS, CVS is unable to get her vaccine. Secondly, an email from a physician friend of mine. Hey, Bill, I'm not even sure what I'm asking you, but we're all confused and concerned about who can get the COVID vaccine. We are having our attorney try and render an opinion. But there's no firm guidance and concern about liability if vaccines are given to a patient who requests it, but not on the current CDC list. Pharmacists are requiring a prescription now even for patients over 65, creating a huge headache. I submit these for the record.
Without objection.
I would say effectively we're denying people vaccine.
That's Senator Bill Cassidy. So Erickson getting name dropped during a Senate committee hearing. Now, it's always been a goal of my life not to have my name brought up in a Senate hearing committee, right? It's usually not a good thing, like that bastard Mark Arum, you know. But this was I mean, it was a nice thing. I was like, oh my God, that's Eric Erickson. Eric's going to talk about that, I'm sure, kind of up at noon. But yeah, that was pretty cool. It'd be like if Senator Ossoff name dropped Vinny. I heard from my constituent, Vinny Drip, down south Vinny, you might know him at. You know, I was like, oh my God. Anyway, I got a little giddy there. with the Erickson name drop. Anyway, continuous updates on the backlash, the repercussions, and the, I want to hear what Eric has to say about what went down yesterday in the RFK Jr. hearing. He will continue our coverage right after the noon news. All right, joining us now, national correspondent Rory O'Neill. Rory, checking in on the National Guard in the District of Columbia. It sounds like they are here to stay, or there to stay in D.C. The big question is, where will the National Guard be sent next?
Well, we did hear that the D.C. Guard, the local guard, they had their mission extended, I think, through the end of November. Those other Guards members who are coming from places like Mississippi and South Carolina, they are already there on orders, I think, through the end of December. So those are already in place and likely to stay there, but the official extension for D.C. Guard happened yesterday. But what's next is really the big question, especially with this legal ruling that found that President Trump broke the law when he deployed National Guard troops to try to knock down those riots in Los Angeles a few months ago, and whether or not the president can take this action again. Chicago is bracing for it. There's a military base just north of the city that apparently is going to be used as a staging location that would include National Guard and a large contingent of ICE officers, Immigration and Customs Enforcement. That's a big part of this.
So the court ruled against President Trump's action in Los Angeles with National Guard troops, but I would imagine the importation of additional ICE officers might still be within his purview.
Exactly. But, look, those are major operations. When they want to do these at this large scale, what we're seeing is, you need to bring the officers in. Obviously, those officers themselves need support, food, lodging, whatever it may be. And then as they arrest people, they have to have some place to bring them for processing to prepare to deport them. So it's a big logistical challenge to do this at scale. That's what we think they've been ramping up in the Chicago area and actually could deploy as early as tomorrow.
Correspondent Rory O'Neill joining us on the Mark Arum Show. So Chicago has been in the crosshairs of the Trump administration for additional law enforcement support. I heard briefly mentioned possibly New Orleans. Are there any other big cities that are on possibly a list that President Trump might send federal troops to?
Well, I'd say, New Orleans, Chicago. I think we've heard Boston's name, and Baltimore, another one. Typically, areas that have Democratic leadership is what we've seen is the trend. In the case of Louisiana and New Orleans, it's interesting. A Republican governor, Democratic mayor. The mayor was asked about this and was very neutral, like, oh, we always work well with our federal partners, whatever that means. Whereas the governor was saying, bring in the troops. I'll take them from Shreveport to New Orleans. We welcome them in. But the president of the New Orleans City Council's very against this, saying it's just a carnival or a circus. That's going to have some political fallout there, too.
Yeah, it looks like the ease of this will be helped if it's a state with a Republican governor, because the governor can request the National Guard troops. But Boston, that's the first time I've heard Boston mentioned as a possibility.
Yeah, Boston, I think that's more rhetorical than it is actual, as they just look at big cities and try to find typically Democratic ones and pick those cities to I don't want to say threaten, but I guess it is threaten to use to deploy the Guard forces there. Again, whether or not it's with or without the governor's approval is a big factor in it.
Indeed. All right, interesting stuff. A story we're going to follow very closely here in Metro Atlanta. Rory, have a great weekend, my friend.
Thanks, Mark.
11:45 on the Mark Arum Show. Congrats to Earl in Decatur. He won our final pair of ducats to see Jim Gaffigan on September 12th. You're going to want to win $1,000 checking the markets. Dow's down 235, Nasdaq's down 40, S&P down 27. Reaction to the poor jobs numbers that were released today. You can win $1,000 coming up after the noon news. Going to give you a keyword in the 5K a day bonus splits. Right now, however. Oh, no. Travel advisory in downtown live with the latest. Alex Williams.
Yeah, not good here. This one just happened. Don't even have all the fire and EMS and police on scene yet. It's 7585 northbound, right under the 5th Street Bridge. That's just before you get to the 10th Street exit 250. At least 3 center lanes are blocked here, 5-6 cars involved, and you're already stacked up back toward I-20. Northside Drive, Peachtree Street, once you get north of I-20 will be good alternates to get you around that. Elsewhere, we're also seeing some brake lights with that left lane construction into CAD, 20 eastbound between Wesley Chapel Road and Panola Road. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
It pays to have the WSB radio app. Download it today and get ready ready for the Blitz.
That's awesome. The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz. 5 chances every weekday to win $1,000. The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
Your next chance to win is at 12 p.m.
That's amazing.
From 95.5 WSB.
Download the WSB radio app now.
Hot water heater just not cutting it anymore? You don't get that piping hot shower you want every morning? Hey, it's Mark Aaron back from my friends at Reliable Heating and Air. Check out this amazing deal. New water heater, only $29.99 a month, and make no payments for 3 whole months. Or you can go tankless, only $59.99 a month, and you can enjoy that lovely, endless hot water. Same day water heater installation guaranteed, or they pay you $300. Get that new water heater now. Save a ton of money. Just go online to reliableair.com.
Attention men, does ED and PE have you down? Well, great news. Choice Men's Health has the latest breakthrough treatments that can get you up and running. Meet the specialist who is dedicated to helping you perform better than ever in the bedroom.
Hi, I'm Dr. Katz, Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Our custom treatment plans have a 98% success rate at improving ED and PE on your very first visit, even if Viagra and Cialis have failed. Regardless of your age and medical history, we are here and dedicated to help you regain your love life.
Don't wait. Call Choice Men's Health now. We are so confident we can help. For a limited time, we're offering to cover your first treatment for free. Call 404-400-1170. Call now to claim your free treatment. 404-400-1170. Results guaranteed on your first visit or it's free. 404-400-1170. Choice Men's Health, the only choice for your health.
Dave Baker here for Ben Hill Renovations, my deck guys. You know it's always deck season. Host the party, watch the big game, cook out. It's all possible on your new deck from Ben Hill Renovations. Ben Hill offers a better contractor experience. Every project is built with future county and city code requirements in mind. Your project won't go over budget, and all jobs are backed by the Ben Hill Renovations Workmanship Warranty. See them on the web at bhrenovations.com. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. Looking for a more natural way to sleep? Our orthopedic natural mattresses combine our legendary quality with nature's finest materials. We hand build each mattress using renewable materials like cotton, wool, and natural latex, creating a luxury sleep experience that's as good for the planet as it is for you. Visit one of our showrooms to try them out in person, or visit originalmattress.com to learn more. The Original Mattress Factory. Sleep better, naturally.
Get a head start on holiday home prep with help from Zerorez. It's Patrick, owner of Zerorez. Getting all of those neglected stains out doesn't require chemicals and harsh soaps. No way. ZR Water technology gets your carpets cleaner and lasts longer. Save up to $30. The more rooms you clean, the more you save. Mention WSB to secure this deal or book online at ZerorezAtlanta.com and ask about our Zerorez commercial cleaning too. Zerorez. Spell it backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
404-793-0000, 12600 Deerfield Parkway, Alpharetta.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
You know, a lot of times you have to choose between something high quality or something that saves you money. But what if you could get both? Why not? Especially when it comes to healthcare, and that is Medi-Share. You get both. Many families save $500 a month with Medi-Share, and that's huge, but it's also true that people wind up way more satisfied, too. And we know this from research of members. There's a lot they like about Medi-Share, but especially they love being part of something they believe in. And Medi-Share works, too. It has for more than 30 years. There are hundreds of thousands of members who love having telehealth if they need it. They love the huge PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or you're part of the gig economy or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price in 2 minutes. Here's the number. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Hey, you never want that call if your child is stranded, but you have to think, what if? What do you do? Rapid Radios can give parents the peace of mind and their kids a lifeline. Just like the old school walkie-talkie two-way, but a lot smarter. One charge lasts for days. Reception is crystal clear, even in remote areas. No delays, instant connection when it counts, because God forbid your child needs help. Hearing their voice makes all the difference. For every quote, just in case, go to rapidradios.com today.
I'm not going to kill you. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
What are you?
I'm Batman.
Yeah, he was Batman, but he's done better roles. Happy 74th birthday to one of the most underrated actors, in my opinion, of all time, Mr. Michael Keaton. Check out this 3-year run, guys. 1982, he started Night Shift. 1983, Mr. Mom. 1984, Johnny Dangerously. Like, that's a hell of a 3-year run. Then Beetlejuice, Clean and Sober, Batman, Multiplicity. What a great actor. And then his most recent success, I don't know if you saw, he was in The Founder, by the way, which is a great movie. Did you ever see Birdman, Deborah?
Birdman is excellent.
So good. He plays Reagan in. Oh, my God. Anyway, I love Michael Keaton. Happy 74th birthday. I mentioned earlier in the show when I finally made it to the point where I didn't have to worry about the prices on menus in restaurants. That being said, I could not afford and would not pay for the most expensive milk in the world, which is found where and costs how much, Deborah?
A farmer in England is charging $17 a pint. That comes down to $1 an ounce for milk because it comes from a horse, and he can only produce about 12 liters a day. That's what makes it super rare.
Yeah, never mind. You lost me at horse milk. I've had goat milk before. I've had, obviously, cow's milk. I have nipples.
You do.
But it just goes to show you, and there are lines out the door for the $17.
Is it that good?
Horse milk. It doesn't matter. It's and I've said this again, this is something I'm going to do in retirement. If you price something so outrageously, you're going to get that 1% to go, oh, I need to get that. It's the most expensive. And then people that are in the top 5%, like, well, the 1%ers are going to, it's. So my idea is like ultra luxurious toilet paper.
What happened to premium mayonnaise?
Yeah, that never got off the ground. Tariffs. We got hit with tariffs. So my idea is like, the 1% of 1%, you sell them toilet paper that's like $100 a roll. Something crazy like that. And it's the most exclusive. And people, they'll buy it. They'll be like, oh, I have to have the finest TP in the world. And then the people that are just below them economically, like, well, they're getting it. And you could sell toilet paper for $100 a roll. You could sell horse milk for $14 a pint.
I didn't even horses had milk.
Yeah, well, they have nipples too. I've eaten horse, not intentionally.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when I was a kid up in Maine, we were going in vacation. And
you can have that before you're 16, right?
Well, it was free. It was free samples at the grocery store in Maine.
Oh, wow.
And the guy's like, hey, little burgers, like little sliders. And I was like, yeah, it's free. My mom was like, go ahead, it's free, kid. And I ate it, and he's like, yeah. I'm like, he's like, do you like it? I'm like, yeah. He's like, that was a horse burger. I was like, oh. Yeah. So PETA, don't yell at me. I didn't know it was a horse burger, and I'm definitely not drinking horse milk. I'm not paying $17 or whatever.
Longoria's fact of the day.
All right. Maybe they can make today's national day is cheese pizza day. Maybe they can make a cheese pizza out of horse milk.
Horse cheese.
Horse cheese.
Yeah, if you have horse milk, you can get a horse cheese.
Yeah.
There you
So
go.
80% of Italian cheese production in the U.S. is mozzarella because we love our cheese
Mozzarella.
Yeah, there's the fact of the day.
Say it again. I stepped on you.
80% of Italian cheese production in the U.S. is mozzarella.
Did you know there's one guy, again, I saw this online, so it's probably a lie, but there's one dude that supplies all the mozzarella to Pizza Hut, Domino's, and Papa John's.
Really?
Billionaire dude. Ooh. He is the lone mozzarella supplier to those big three.
That'll be you in the future with your toilet paper.
Yeah, I'll be the exclusive toilet paper provider to all the people on Epstein's list. the billionaires that are there. Yeah, again, fact check me on that. It was a video, but it was like this crazy story how he became the supplier to like Pizza Hut first, and then someone was at Papa John's like, I want the good mozzarella that Pizza Hut has, and all unbeknownst to the three of them, they all. It could be a fake news story, but I thought it was funny. It was a good fake news story.
And now, are you guys ready
All right.
for the Mark Aram Star of the Show?
Well, we got a lot of them. Santiago Marquez, CEO of the Latin American Association, joined us live talking about a huge ice bust at the mega plant, the Hyundai mega plant just outside of Savannah. Very big story. We're going to follow over the weekend. We'll have an update for you on Monday morning. Greg Rhodes joined us live from Orlando, Florida, WDBO, about the push to get rid of vaccine mandates in the Sunshine State. Political analyst Bill Crane updating the big political stories here in Georgia. I'm going to hammer that. Why does Bloomberg have the weirdest reporters' names, the toughest to pronounce?
It's only for us. They know that it's you, and
They
they're
just-
like, oh, yeah, Aram with his name.
Mary Schlangenstein from Bloomberg News joined us live about there's no chance now that is dead to get some sort of recompense from airlines if our flights are now canceled, not because of weather. We were going to get paid, but now that's off the table. So Mary Schlangenstein from Bloomberg News. Stephen Portnoy joined us from D.C., correspondent Rory O'Neill. Deborah, I love those social medias. Drop that new one to Dropbox because I couldn't download it.
I did.
Deborah's having fun on the new Grok video feature. Very exciting stuff there. Social media is active at Mark Aram. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K day bonus splits. And last chance. Today's the last day to buy tickets to the WSB host meet and greet next Thursday at Truist Park. Just go to choa.org/WSB events. choa.org/WSB events. Stay safe. Have a great weekend, Atlanta.
To a simpler place and time.